I couldn't do 24 hours a day, but I could do 20 a day, divided by 20. So it'll take me 400 days. And it's going to take you 4 years?
I only put in 8. Hey, overtime, man. I'd be happy to put you work if you want to work that much.
That's right.
Sounds like you got some.
You guys mostly new construction. What do you guys do? What's your bread and butter?
Commercial, right? Yeah, commercial. We actually started getting into multifamily. I mean, the last couple of years, it was hard not to.
You doing like solar setups at all?
You know,
the
not so much. Solar companies now are kind of like the bigger ones. They're having their own electricians on board.
Oh, I guess that's smart if they're.
They do, but repairing, they won't repair other people.
This is a great special. I like it.
They're dying. That's what Dave Rumble used to do. You still does it.
You learn how to sell sites.
They set up. There's so much power at the bottom of those things.
I was thinking about taking it away from not taking away. Working with Dave, the context he has.
Oh, they ship them everywhere.
Yeah, but the business model is unbelievable if you can handle it. You know, they acquire the sites and all you do is
You guys doing a lot of upgrades on buildings for marijuana?
We have. I did one last year right off I-70. We did one. They're looking to expand here in a couple months, so we'll probably do another one. But yeah, we got a lot of growth. There was
he stays logged in. I'm gonna post.
And online at Facebook, yeah,
well, teach him a lesson and keep posting.
Guys, are you still looking for a great Christmas gift to a wife or girlfriend?
Hello, I'm Ross. I'm still logged.
Now I have hair.
That's perfect, actually.
For over 15 years, because the world's softest pajamas are lighter than a cloud and softer than
I'd say about 8 years ago, the marijuana industry is what kept us going.
Really?
Yeah, actually about 10 years ago, when 2007, 2008 was coming around, we got slow about 2008, 2009, and we had 3 grow operations that kept us busy for over a year.
It's massive.
So when they put in, they were putting in fluorescent, right? So now there's LEDs. Are people switching over?
Well, they were mostly HID, so they were still doing high pressure sodium or metal halide lamps. So.
Bro, I don't think LEDs can grow it that fast.
I'm posting to his page until he learns the lesson. So I got that one. I just
Where do you get that? Where do you use that? Old right out of your
You
butt
got to see what I posted. Do you go to Ross Kaminsky's page?
No, I think, well, you guys, I don't know if you guys know lighting. It's a whole different question. But can the LED grow the marijuana as fast as the HIDs? I don't know the answer. I know one's going to put off more heat. Is heat good for them, bad for them? I don't know.
Yeah, they got an air conditioner too. Depends on what they're growing.
Oh, there's a few factors that they look into. Like the LED has to have a broad spectrum. But you'll see like a bunch of different colored LEDs on there to get a broad spectrum of lighting, whereas like a high pressure soda or like a metal halide
has the spectrum.
Already has it.
There you go. Bad spectrum.
No, they can
bad spectrum.
They can do the spectrum. They
have a different. Not the right way.
They can change their different stages because they want different.
By the time you do all that, though, is there any cost savings?
They're starting to get there. So they're not the industry, as far as I know. Like the one we did last year, they talked about doing LEDs, but they're not quite ready to make the change from the high pressure sodium metal halide to LED lights yet.
Got it.
I heard this is like a year ago conversation, but I heard a company in Boulder that's specializing in building these lights.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Hey, give us a call on anything you want, anything at all that's bothering you. If you have a problem, unload. If you want to get something off your chest, unload. You know, this hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7. $39. They haven't done this tune-up special in a long time because of the weather. And listen, you may think, wait a minute, $39 for a tune-up special. They just want to get in my house, look around, see what's wrong. Oh, yeah, all companies want to do that. But if you compare their $39 tune-up to anyone else, you'll see it's totally different, and I'm going to explain that. So what are we doing today? We're having fun. As we get toward the end of the year, we get a little loosey-goosey. We go back and look at the year and what the problems have been, how to prevent them, and then you decide what you need in your life to make your life just a little easier. You call us. Did someone lie to you? Did someone rip you off? Did someone cheat you? If so, you can call us and get help. All you have to do is call 303-713-TALK. Or you can find us, by the way, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. You can post there, too, to find us. You can send us Facebook messages. We'll get back to you. You can find us really on all social media, although I'm not a social media whore like a lot of people. I really don't just, you know, hello, here I am, and, you know, this is what I'm eating. What is this compulsion people have with posting what they're eating? I just wonder how much do we need to know about people? 303-713-TALK is our number. And the number one complaint this year, contractors, the number one complaint. The number two complaint, I did look, it was more used cars than stem cells. And then number three is stem cells. Now, stem cells did not have the most number of calls. It had a lot, but it had the most dollars affecting people. So in dollars, we have contractors have been the most important problem. These scum-sucking pigs that take money and don't do the work or do substandard work. Or used cars. You buy a used car, and basically it's not what you thought it was, but you give yourself trouble. You buy a car with 180,000 miles on it and say, oh, I had a problem with it. Okay. And then the other one, of course, stem cell therapy. And then we have some common men in today. There's really no such thing as a common man, although that's the name we give the chair. We have people come in from the great unwashed. The only requirement is that they have been listening a long time. They love and adore me, and that's it. And then we pluck them out of the population, let them sit here and chime in. Most of the time, they don't chime in. They just sit here. But maybe maybe Keith will be different, and Zach. They're here from their company is Bar Electric. Bar Electric. The reason these guys are here, Keith. Oh, I know why Keith did this. Because his name is Carol.
Yeah.
I said Ken Carl one time, and a guy said it's supposed to be Carol, and because the family out there. And I said, okay, from now on I'll say Ken Carol, and I'll never say Ken Carl again. And if you catch me, I'll buy you lunch. And then Keith called in. Keith, are you you're spelled differently than Ken Carroll, but that's why you noticed, right? Because of your name?
Yeah, it is.
But your name wasn't C-A-R-Y-L at one time, was it?
No, it's C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
Oh, always, right? Do you have any relatives in Parker or Franktown?
No.
Okay. I had some good friends there. Okay. So anyway, Keith's with us, Zach's with us. They have Bar Electric. They do mostly commercial and...
What does BAR stand for?
And residential. Yeah, because it's B-A-R, B period A. What does it stand for?
They're the initials of Brett, my father. He's the owner of the company.
Oh, your father owns
cool.
it. Okay. So he got you in the biz.
He did, yeah.
And this is Zach. And then, Zach, you became a master electrician?
I did, yes.
Okay. Is he still working, your dad?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's at the office right
Are you going to take it over?
In a couple years, that's the plan.
Cool.
Have you ever got shocked really bad?
Oh, yes, I have.
You know what? Is it true? Now, this is what I was told. Is it true that electricians sometimes get used to shocks, and what used to hurt them, they hardly notice? And I mean, is that true? First of all, are there small shocks that you get used to?
Yes, there is. Yeah, when you're working in a house, sometimes you're working on a dimmer switch or lighting switch, you get shocked.
I have to tell you something. Shocks are the worst feeling in the world. It is to me. You know, burns. I don't like burns, but you know, they don't bother. When I get shocked, and it hasn't happened a lot. Oh my God, it's the worst feeling in the world. There's something about shocks that just I can't explain it.
I won't even put my tongue on a 9-volt.
Static electricity doesn't bother me. That static or that little thing. But man, there's something about electricity that just scares the hell out of me when you feel that feeling.
I'm going to buy one of those buzzers and get you.
Do you remember a shock? And is it true that the voltage?
I don't, man.
Is it true it's not the voltage that matters, but the amperage or the actual flow of electricity, right?
To a certain extent, yes. I mean, low voltage.
If you're not grounded, can you get electrocuted?
No. If you're not in a path.
If you were in midair, and you grabbed onto a power line, can you?
No, that's why squirrels and birds are able to land on.
So we could literally hang on a power line. Then if a guy came up and threw us a rope, no, rope wouldn't ground us, would it?
It depends.
A rope could?
As long as it's non-conductive. I mean, if it's a rope, if it's soaked in water, maybe, but yeah, a rope probably.
How about if someone urinated on a electric fence? Would that come through?
You know,
I think that's an urban legend.
I had a neighbor tell me he did that once, so
and it got him.
Have you ever seen the video of the guy working on the high tension line and the helicopter drops him off on there?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff like that. Yeah.
But to get electrocuted, it has to flow through you, or shock. It has to flow through you into something.
Yeah. You need to become a conduit for the electricity to get back to ground.
And when we say, electricity is a weird thing. It's a flow of electrons. That's what it is, okay? It's just like, if you picture electrons as water going through a wire and turning a little spinning wheel. I mean, electricity is a flow. You just don't see it. But it has to flow through a circuit into ground. And here's the thing, though. A circuit can be internally grounded. I mean, have its own ground. Because when you're holding something in your hand that's, in a plastic box, that circuit is grounded, and it goes, with DC, it goes back to itself. It goes back to the negative on the DC, so it's an internally self-contained ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you have a self-contained ground with AC? You can't really, can you?
You could create a whole AC system without it.
You can. What would you do for the negative? Because there is no real negative on an AC system. I mean, you could have an intern. So I don't know that much about it. I know a little bit to be dangerous. So I realize in a house, in anything with AC, eventually it must go to ground. So now if you pick that up and you make yourself a circuit, and it's some electrical thing out in air, suspended. Where is ground? It can be internally grounded?
So how the electrical circuit works is that the neutral conductor is actually is called the ungrounded conductor.
Yeah.
So your power is flowing from your phase all the way back through your ungrounded connector.
Yeah.
At Excel's transformer, they'll bond right there in the middle inside the transformer and make a reference to ground.
Yeah.
So that creates a safety point. So if they never put that ground down into the earth and created a
what
ground,
would happen?
Essentially, you would just have you'd have your hot and neutral be on an isolated system that the grounds wouldn't be connected to other electrical systems. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. What would that do? Would you still have electricity flowing?
You could, yes, you still will. Now the ground, they created the ground as a safety point. So essentially, a ground and your neutral are bonded at your panel in your house.
Now this is getting way over people's heads, but I don't mean to, but essentially, AC. Correct me if I'm wrong. Edison introduced DC. Edison. Tesla wanted AC, and it was a battle. Literally, Tesla was right. I mean, to have a DC system is inefficient. And Edison had Edison imagined cities being wired with 2 wires. Whereas Tesla said, you don't need 2 wires. The Earth is your first wire, and then all you need is 1 wire. I mean, in essence, wasn't AC done for efficiency?
Yeah, it was. With DC, they'd have to put a substation on every block.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So AC literally sends power out, but it doesn't have to come back because all they have to do is ground it.
Yes.
And then electrons flow from the station through your house into ground. I know. Hey, I'll bet you there's a lot of people listening.
Actually, I liked every bit of it.
That love this discussion. I mean, maybe there might be a few people that don't. But in any case, hey, if you ever have any questions about wiring and stuff, give us a call. It's fun. Okay, so Bill has a question about the mail. Ron has a used refrigerator thing here. Ron, what's going on with your refrigerator?
Well, I went last week and bought a nice little side-by-side stainless steel counter depth.
You bought it used?
Yeah, I bought it used.
Where?
At Affordable Used Appliances.
Okay, the reason I ask, those damn things at Costco, they're so cheap. You're talking about the little ones, right, that go under a desk or something?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about counter depth. It's a regular.
Oh, a regular. Okay, I'm sorry. A regular used refrigerator. Okay, what's the problem?
Well, it got here, and for the first 2 days, it functioned beautifully, and I was delighted with it. And so then I went in the morning, and it had shut off during the night. Everything was thawed in the freezer, and the refrigerator was
all right,
off.
so it's not working. It's used. Did you get some kind of warranty with it?
Yes, I paid $50 for a 1-year warranty.
Okay, so will they fix it?
they said they can't fix it, and that there is a replacement policy, one like it. Meanwhile, it comes on, freezes everything, and goes off, and thaws out, and gets water on the floor. And
all right, so what are they going to do for you in a way?
Well, they said they're going to look for one in their inventory, and they haven't found one yet.
What does the warranty say they're supposed to do?
It says they'll supply a replacement, but I don't think they should have a year to supply a replacement.
Let's just call them. That sounds crazy.
I mean,
a year.
Yeah, you can't.
I know it's not a year, but it's nuts.
You're not. You know, I mean, a warranty has to be reasonable, for goodness sakes. How much did you pay for? How much did you pay for this?
I paid. Oh gosh, I don't remember exactly. I bought a dishwasher from them and everything at the same time. It was $780.
Okay, listen. They should at least give your money back if they can't honor it. Don't
you? That still seems pretty high for a used fridge. Am I crazy?
$780 was with something else.
Oh.
Yes, a dishwasher.
Although that still seems high, $780 for both.
Whatever.
I didn't negotiate.
I don't listen. I don't know how it broke down, Bill. But here's the. Excuse me, Ron. Here's the bottom line. If these people sold you something with a warranty and they can't make right, then they have to refund the money. But they don't have to find you a replacement ultimately if they give your money back.
Send us your receipt. As soon as I get it, I'll give them a call for you.
Yeah, we'll call up and help you. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. What's going on in your life? Give us a call. We have open lines. Also, you can call 303-MARTINO. And you can do that, by the way, 24/7. What we do is we download those voicemails. Did we have a bunch of them today, Deputy Dan? Anyway, 303-MARTINO, we listen to each and every one, and then we'll call you back if we think we can help you. You've heard me emphasizing addiction treatment over the holidays because so many people are stricken with it, and the holidays are a rough time for people in general, especially if you're lonely. If you're facing addiction, the message that I want to get out about the Raleigh House is not go sign up for addiction treatment. Here's the Raleigh House. Here's a holiday special. That's a bunch of bull because there are a lot of you listening where the Raleigh House may not be apropos for you. There might be another one. And here's the deal. If you call the Raleigh House, they'll tell you. They will tell you what's out there, what modalities are used to help treat addiction, and they'll let you know what they do. So if you have an addict in your life and you want true, honest information, confidential, they'll tell you about the industry, about how to approach an addict, about how much it costs, about insurance coverages, about different treatment options. They'll also tell you how to look for telltale signs of addiction if you're suspecting your child, your husband, your wife. The Raleigh House is a great place to get information. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559.
This report is sponsored by Vasa Fitness.
He played for the CFL.
Crash, westbound I-76.
What position?
Inside middle.
How long did you play?
7 years.
From what college?
Utah State.
What did the CFL? I didn't even know they were around 7 years. Are they still around? Are they?
Yeah,
I mean, I know nothing about. Oh no, I know. I'm thinking of the AFL. I'm sorry, not the AFL. What was the useful?
USF.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
No CFL.
How is it? You played with Doug Flutie. How is the CFL? How is the CFL?
It's good. I mean, it's like the tier 2. It's a different football game.
They just can't get the talent. Is that what it is, or they can't grow the talent?
It's like it's kind of like, I would say, like AA baseball, maybe AAA baseball to the major leagues.
I'm just wondering why, though. You know, because you got the
Well, it's been around 100 years.
Did they have a farm system or high school system, college?
Virtually all the players there. 50% of the teams have to be Canadian. So 50% of the players have to be Canadian-born players. 50%.
Do we have such a requirement?
No, because it would be against.
Man, look at our NBA, or not NBA.
It would be against the labor laws.
So the CFL wouldn't be as parity and could have like a World Bowl instead of just a Super Bowl. Would that be cool or not? I don't think the NFL would like that.
Different size field.
No. If you had a Super Bowl like we do, if
we have a Super Bowl, and then our winner goes and plays.
Really what he's asking is, if it's been around 100 years, how come it's never got to the level of the NFL?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
Typical, different. While Canadians and Americans tend to be visually similar, they're very different in how they approach the game. Canadians are hockey crazy, number one. But number two is sports are not the same function, the same focus in Canada than in the U.S. outside of hockey. So football, it has a very loyal following. You've got 1/10 the population, so you don't have as many people that can.
Americans are more driven with a lot of things.
Sports, they're tied to their teams, but we have very, very, very loyal fans. I go back to Hamilton and.
Is rugby big in Canada? I love watching rugby.
It is, but it's not. It is, but it's still club. Club.
There's rugby right here.
I go with Stephanie and I go. We like it.
Yeah, so I never played football. I even though I went to football at college. I never started football till my senior year of high school. I just played rugby.
Does CFL draft out of the U.S.?
Yeah, I was a U.S. college player. But I was a first round pick in Canada.
So they can draft, and then obviously they don't.
Only Canadian.
He's very unique. There's one other thing.
Are you a Canadian?
Yeah, originally.
Oh, okay.
I'm U.S. now.
But even though you come to the U.S. and go to school and live here, they can draft you if you're Canadian.
If you're born.
But they okay, gotcha.
So you dual citizenship. So he also asked him where he graduated. I forget why I was saying with an accounting degree. So he's HVAC, of course, his company, CFL, and then an accounting degree from a pretty, if I recall, it might have even been a like Boston. Where's your
Northwest?
Northwest
marketing, finance,
DC.
Yeah.
Northwestern.
So as they like, does a pack of electrons move that direction and pass the quick work then back the other way?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
But it qualifies me.
So they'll
heating, air conditioning, plumbing contract.
You went a long way.
Did you like football? I mean, do you like the? Did you want to play for the NFL?
I tried to go to Green Bay.
I'm trying to remember what they're called.
They
control the flow.
Is it that hard to make the NFL? Yeah, it's they're the best of the best, right?
No question.
Or some of them are huge. I mean,
I have a Van de Graaff jacket.
I can tell you that if you took
make the
last cuts of all the NFL teams and had another NFL, just made an NFL rookie team out of that team, they would not be.
They couldn't be.
Gentlemen who I used
No.
That's how.
Could they beat most of the CFL teams
taught me
though?
to play guitar.
Different teams. If we had to play the U.S. rules, they would beat all of them.
1992.
But if they had to play Canadian rules,
They made the world's largest Tesla
Okay.
coil. And there's a picture
because it's faster.
Now, I'll tell you what, Italy is going crazy.
That's scary though.
You know, Italy's going crazy for basketball. Italy has a lot of good basketball players.
So is North Korea.
Yeah.
Remember what's his name?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Integra Insurance is someplace
Everyone should call during open enrollment. It's open enrollment until January 15th. You must call to get your health insurance. If you think, no, I don't have to call. If you have health insurance, it's going up. Everyone's going up. So you need to get dinged the least. You can get on and off the exchange. But how are you going to find the best plan when there are hundreds of plans? Integra doesn't charge you. The commission's built in, and you don't save money going direct. So don't think, oh, well, I'll just go direct and save money. I wish that was the case, but it's not. So here's the deal. Call Integra or go to do this, integrainsurance.com. You'll remember that, right? integrainsurance.com, and they will take care of you. integrainsurance.com. All right. What's going on, Diana? Welcome. And then we have a guest to introduce.
Hi.
What's happening,
Hi,
Diana?
Tom.
What's happening?
Hi. I've had a company car for 30 years, but in the next 2 weeks I need to acquire my own car, and I will get a monthly allowance.
Okay, this is the first time you're getting a car?
In 30 years, but I have to get it on my own. I just want to know what you think about leasing versus buying.
Okay, I've talked about that a lot, and Diana,
yeah.
It depends. Now, here's what it depends on. If you can truly live by the terms of a lease and not damage the car at all, you don't have a lot of kids or pets, It's It's always better than buying. Always. If you truly live by the terms. That means the mileage, and that means you keep it maintained, and that means you literally return it when it's supposed to be returned, or you can buy it from yourself, but you have to live within the terms. And you don't, if you have a 3 or 5 year lease, you cannot return it early ever. It is the penalties will take all the advantages away from you.
And you still have to buy it right.
Well, of course.
Don't just look at the payments.
Yeah, we're going to do that separately. We'll talk about that separately. The lease is one thing, but then you need to have a good lease. And a good lease means you have to do your homework. Because people are usually looking for a car they look to purchase, and let's say they look to purchase and a car payment's going to be $650 a month, and then they find a lease for the same car, and that lease is $300, they think, oh my God, I'm saving a lot of money. But really, maybe they're not. And so they just take it. Or it's $300 a month, and the dealer says, well, since you're saving $300 a month, why do you say we do this, 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 this? They start stacking options and credit life and disability and all kinds of crap. And then you're, instead of paying $650, you're paying $480. And you still think to yourself, let's see, $480, $580. Yeah, I'm still saving a bunch of money. And then you have just taken all the benefit of the lease out of it. So what you need to do is look at a few things. First, never trade a car in when you're leasing. Never, ever, ever. You will get no equity. Okay. When you go for a lease, you have to find out what is the acquisition cost. The dead acquisition cost to get that car. That's what the leaser pays to get that car. And what they pay is what you should pay. I do not believe in a good lease that the lessor should ever make a dime on the acquisition, ever.
And never lease a used car.
Now, I don't mind if the salesperson selling to the lessor, but the lessor should never make a dime on acquisition. That acquisition should be a really good price, and then that acquisition, if you're going to make a down payment, should come directly off of the acquisition cost. People have a habit of not understanding leases and giving money, which is called capital reduction. It's a down payment, but they never get credit for it. I can take a lease and manipulate the numbers to a point where I keep the down payment. You still pay full acquisition costs. So that lease in and of itself has to be understood. And if you don't understand it, you need to find someone who does. And then you'll make out great. If you can limit yourself to whatever mileage you sign up for, and for whatever length of time you sign up for. The next thing is you should have a car that is conducive to leasing. And this is very important. The way you find out which car is the best one to lease is by looking at a table of residual values. Look it up on the internet. What does that mean? That means that you take a car like a Mercedes, take a car like a Dodge, and take a car like an Infiniti, and then, or any cars, and it'll tell you after 3 years, after 5 years, after 2 years, it'll give you what the residual value is in terms of percentage. So a Mercedes, for example, I believe after a 4-year, 12,000 mile a year lease will be a 50% car or a 45% car. That means that car will be worth 45% of what it was when it was new. What you are looking for is the highest residual percentage in order to find the best car to buy. Okay? I mean to lease. The best cars to lease are the least depreciated cars because you are financing the depreciation. You're not financing the car, you're financing the use of the car. So if a Toyota Land Cruiser, which is an excellent lease vehicle, it hardly depreciates, then you're not financing a lot of money. And that is really a good thing. Now, just an interesting note, the worst used car values are the best new car values. So people assume they're great used cars. Let's take a Toyota Land Cruiser. The worst used car you can ever buy. Why is that? Because they hardly depreciate. You see, you don't want that because mechanically, the truth is they're no better than a Chevy Suburban or a Chevy, whatever they call them now, or an Equinox, okay? So if you take an Equinox and you take a 4Runner or, whatever, a Land Cruiser, you will have a better used car value with the Equinox. So you do just the opposite when buying used cars. People tend to go for those cars that don't depreciate, saying, oh, they're great cars, man. No, they're not. Not for used cars. For used cars, you want the truck or the car that depreciates like crazy, and you get a great, great value. 303-713-8255. If you have any more questions, we have a guest coming up from the referral list sitting in to say hi. And speaking of cars, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a crazy deal. I'm serious. It's unbelievable. Here's the deal for Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. They will tear apart the transmission, lay it out, and show you exactly what it will cost to rebuild that transmission or to fix it. And that teardown and inspection is free. Totally free. Free. If you decide to have the work done, you're still not charged for it. So you'll save that money. If you decide to take it somewhere else, you're still not charged for it. If you want to dump the car, you're still not charged for it. If you want to put the car back together and just drive it as a piece of junk, you're still not charged for the tear down and haul away and estimate. You will be charged a small charge to put it back together, but that has to be negotiated up front. So there is no downside to this, no risk whatsoever. 303-781-9858. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth.
That's why I'm asking. Gotcha. Are you not on air? Or on online?
I can't get online. I can't. Nothing is getting online for me. I don't understand. So I need to know what our password is.
PC is not working.
TSN. Just none of the broadbands.
I don't think we know.
They're all. It's working okay for me. Dan, is it working okay for you?
Are you on iHeartCast?
No, I'm on TSN.
Okay, I got to get on TSN now. Where is it?
TSN.
I can't find it.
Here it is.
Okay,
TSN.
I'm going to get on 2.4.
Okay.
Now, it's Rescue Radio 1, right?
No. You're probably automatically connected.
I walked down, but it asked me for a password. So why am I having?
You might have to reboot, man. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
See if it popped up on the
Got it. How much time do I have, bro? Okay, I got to run.
That's the brakes will be at 65 right now.
Dexter, let's turn on the
password for the guest.
iHeartGuest.
YouTube.
It's right here. It's connect with a 0.
What do you call it?
It's
Go back and
connect
forth and stuff.
is cap. You might want to come over and look at it.
Remember
Take
you
a
used
picture.
I know what you're talking about.
But that's a 0, so be mindful
Because
of
that way I
that.
can keep
And
it
then
up
the
and I
thing
can
with
answer
the
both. So right now I just found that we had 12
do you have any
people
questions on the mic
on
now that we're on break?
Do I just hit one?
On when you're talking, off when you're not. If you hit on right now, you'd go live on the air. So just be real careful with that. Right. Yep. And then you'll see your calls, the calls coming in here. You can surf the net. You've got a water. This is your water at least. Okay. And then what else? Volume. You got 2 volume controls there. So.
Just remind me.
For these.
I didn't get
for
your name,
headphones.
the electrician guys. I didn't get their names yet.
Keith and Zach.
Keith and Zach.
Yeah, I'm Zach.
Okay. And both of you guys need to get a bunch closer to that mic. You really got to be almost.
Yeah, just jump right in.
Deep throat.
Got it.
Okay. So you're good. Okay. Let me know. Wave at me in the glass.
You know, she turned out to really go after the porn business. Now that you say that, I forget her name, but she lived.
Linda Lovelace.
She lived in Colorado.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yep.
Linda Lovelace. As a matter of fact, her nephews worked for me, so I know all that. Yeah, she became a big proponent against porn. She
sued a bunch of people, didn't she?
Yeah, she was an addict. She was a drug addict, and they drugged her into.
That's what she says anyway.
I've never met her, but I met her nephew worked for me when we built hangars for a number of years. They seem like a real decent family.
When seniors need treatment for
It was
cancer
Lovelace?
serious
Huh?
Was there?
No, no, that's stage name. Something else. Matter of fact, it wasn't even Linda.
Administration's health department is pushing out a risky experiment that could be disastrous for your Medicare benefits. Under the Trump administration's plan, middlemen and HHS bureaucrats, not your doctors,
Is KBPI in this?
cancer care.
Yep. Yeah. So, 17 stations in here? Building?
Let me think. No way. There's maybe FM, maybe 5 out of this building, and then 3, so 8, maybe 9, 8 or 9.
And patients often wait months for
Yeah, we did
The
that.
3rd floor is all FM, 4th floor is all AM, and 2nd floor is sales,
and they need him
and then 1st floor is
Call in today.
offices like ours.
We did the Hammers and Angels project with KBPI last week.
Hammers what?
Hammers and Angels.
What was that?
They picked a family that really needed remodel done in their house.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. It was on, which DJ was?
Willie B.
Willie B, yeah. Yep, he was on a bunch.
Yeah, that was a really cool project, to be honest.
You know, about this, we're right now working on getting, we've got a great grandson, 75 years old, has to raise 4 little ones, ages 4 to 10.
Okay,
We've been
good.
helping them out. In fact, we got them a car.
Okay, Fanny, here you go.
Do you know on YouTube where I can turn on chat again?
Yeah?
What is this?
You said you wanted the receipt to call for that guy for the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have him holding.
You've never used
That's really good that you did that.
It's probably under advanced settings.
I think I'm under advanced.
channel settings.
So I already got a lot of Dharma. You've heard of karma, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would,
No.
restricted
The other half of
mode.
karma. Karma is what you get back in this life.
Yeah.
See if you can find it. Are you in?
I don't have a login
Google
for
it.
it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
you know a lot of good Dharma.
How to turn chat back
For the
on.
next one. Hey, I'm doing that. Did not know that.
How much is that water heater you're doing now installed? I forget, $8.99, $9.99?
$9.95.
He's got a water heater installed, $9.95.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Only in the spring zone.
40 gallon, 50 gallon.
40, yeah.
Electric.
Yeah, but no, 50 gallons, $100 more?
That's good. $100 more for 50. But here's the thing: is it plus anything we need to do to bring it to code.
Yeah.
So sometimes it needs.
Hey, you want to hear a great deal? Stay tuned. If you're in the Springs, you're looking for a water heater, you're not going to find anything better. This is the season to get rid of the ringing. I know you hear a lot of sleigh bells ringing, but you don't want to hear tinnitus. With Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, this is a serious deal. That stuff will drive you crazy. Now, some people, you'd be surprised. Honest to goodness, I do this often. I'll ask 10 people, and we will find people with tinnitus. Like right here, right now in the studio, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, Suzanne, you don't have tinnitus. I don't know if Grant does. Dan does. I do. Do you have tinnitus? 3. You have. Did you ever experience it? You have it a little? Okay. There's so many people who have it, and they just you use, and you get to try hearing aids as well, free of charge, no obligation, but you do need an evaluation. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163. 534-0163. Just search for Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. They're on my referral list. Let's keep going here. And we do have a line open, 303-713-TALK. Mark is going to call on that used fridge. We just got the paperwork. And he said he had a warranty with it, but they're telling him it could be up to a year to replace. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And again, coming up, I'm going to tell you how you can get, for under $1,000, you get a water heater fully installed, Colorado Springs area, with one of our companies there. He's in to visit. Ron, what is your question, sir? Ron.
So we are starting a software company. We have an idea that's not proprietary, but we believe the software is proprietary, and we're wondering how to protect it.
Okay, what's the idea that's not proprietary?
Well, I hate to say it because it might be proprietary.
Oh, okay.
I am more than capable. Well, let me say, I believe it can revolutionary the call center.
Okay.
And I'd be more than willing to send you a one sheet on it so you can get a little bit better feel for it.
You know, I want to tell you that I have personally helped people who've had ideas turn them into realities through a network of people I know, and I haven't taken a dime. Now, I have not even ruled out putting in money for something I believe in. There's a guy, I hope he's listening, that came up with something for guns that makes them safer and easier to use. And I truly, I hope he's listening, I do want to help this guy. And if you have a good invention, Mark and I have always said we will help nurture businesses, and I'll give you all the advice in the world and point you in the right direction without expecting anything in return. But I need to pick your brain a little. You say it's going to revolutionize the call center industry. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Ron, what is your last name?
Thacker.
Okay. And the date is, you agree, December 13th, right?
Yes.
And it's 10:42, right?
Yes.
Okay, so off the air, when we go to a break, you're going to explain it to me, and then we'll come on and talk about what you should do about it, okay?
Certainly.
And then off the air, he's explaining this call center idea, so he has proof. He's disclosing it to me, and I'm agreeing not to tell anybody unless he lets me. So hold on, all right?
Certainly.
All right. 303-713-TALK. Dave, what is happening, Dave, with us, your business?
Yeah, hey Tom, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. What's going on, man?
So I'm a small business owner. I got a sprinkler business in Denver, and we've been in business successfully for 7 years. And our team and I work really hard, and we go out in the field and we provide great services to the community of Denver, Littleton, and Lakewood. And then at the end of the day, you know, one angry, upset customer
is poison.
You know,
is poison.
Is poison. We do everything right.
Dave, I've said this before, man. I've said this before. The internet is both a blessing and a scourge. You can do a great job and have somebody smear you. We've even had customers tell people, if you don't give me so much off, or if you don't give me a discount, I'm going to ruin you. It's become ridiculous, and here's the problem. There's no accountability, and it sucks, because somebody doing a great job can be really hurt with one negative review, and then you encourage other nuts. We've had places that actually reviewed other businesses, their competitors, pretending to be a customer. There's no accountability. There's no investigating. They just put it up there. You know, the credit industry can't do that. If the credit industry says you're a deadbeat and they give you a low FICO, they have to have records. But anyone in the world can go on and they can say you suck.
Yep. No, I completely agree. We do sprinkler blowouts, and we did probably over 800 sprinkler blowouts.
What's the complaint, Dave? I think, you know what? I do believe the average person, I think it's bothering you more than the average person. If I look at reviews and I see mostly good and just a couple really bad ones, I can see through it. I can. Can you see through it, Clint? Can you see through it, Dan? Do you let a few negative reviews stir you the wrong way? I don't. What do you do?
I look at general. I look at the best, the middle, and the
I don't even look at the score. I look at the comments. Reviews are great, but man, can they be a scourge. Again, that's why I look all around. Now, do you think it's hurting you, Dave?
I think it's hurting me in a couple ways. Back to looking at the reviews, I think people look at them and they judge a company based on the reviews. But the other problem is that the people that are reading the reviews and making their opinion based on reviews, they're not contributing to the small businesses. And so back to my point, we do over 800 sprinkler blowouts. We do great jobs, show up on time. We get 1 5-star review out of those 800 service calls and 3 1-star reviews. And it's like, what happened to the 700 and whatever other customers that thought we did a great job, don't contribute to our to the reviews online, and then what happens is to get a review from your customers.
I see. It looks right. And you're saying it's unfair because not everyone reviews you, and you may have 800 good ones that don't bother. I know what you mean.
Correct.
You know what?
Yeah.
What do we do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
What do we do about it?
Well, what I found is that, you know, in order to
reply to it and explain to everybody,
you got to pay them. You got to give them some incentive to go online and write the review.
Okay.
And so what is that doing? So you're
hey, our common men today,
you know,
do you guys work on reviews with Commercial Electric? Not much. Do you? Do people review you guys? I'm just curious. Go ahead.
No, we we have our website. We're starting to get a review sections built on there.
Yeah, but do you
we
get
don't have
Google
any-
reviews or anything? Do people Yelp
just
you?
verbal.
No,
Verbal, yeah, nothing.
A lot of business people don't have the time to go on there. Then our guest today from Colorado Springs, here's the deal. He runs an HVAC company, Mike, and Mike Robinson with Smith Plumbing and Heating, smithplumbingheatingcooling.com. Okay, Mike, you guys have a lot of reviews, right?
Yes, we encourage our customers to go online and leave reviews.
Do most of them leave reviews?
No.
No. Okay. What do you do? And I know you've had to have them because they happen. A customer you just can't please, they're toxic. Now, I'm not talking about a legit mistake you made and you fix it. I'm talking about the guy you know damn well there's got to be one, or maybe not. Have you had one like that?
Oh, yeah, your experience, the way you explained your experiences out there is exactly what
What do you do about it? Do you ever contact them and say, look, what can we do about it?
Of course.
What do they want? Are they unreasonable many times?
No, normally they're not unreasonable. What they've done is they've called in. They have not got someone to respond to their legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
So they just get mad, and then they write something. And then, of course, as the owner, we call and listen to them, and all of a sudden they feel better, and they go, oh, my gosh, I wish I hadn't left that.
Right. And and some you can withdraw them, right?
Sometimes they can go on and do that.
It just bothers me, though. Doesn't it bother that the idea that there's no accountability? See, and Yelp, Google, I mean, they won't. They will not really respond unless it's something truly egregious. I mean, you know, we've had things said about me that were taken down because they're, you know, just egregious, and they say, of course, this is not true or this is wrong. But I'm talking about if they say, you know, you do lousy work, you know, you left and I had to get somebody else to fix it, and it's not true. There's nothing to prevent that. Nothing.
Hey, a good example is Kalen Eccles going on there and just creating some BS about somebody that has nothing to do with the job, a complete fabrication.
Anyway, Dave, you called about the problem, you sounded off, but you want to know what you can do about it?
You know, I wanted to, you know, get your opinion.
I'm going to give you my opinion.
That.
Hold on. I'll tell you what some businesses have done successfully, all right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, simplyfloorsinc.com. Buddy Mitchell and his team strive to make you happy and save you money at the same time. 20, 30, 40, sometimes you save half, depending on the product. He'll be happy to give you a free estimate. And you can go and schedule your own appointment online at simplyfloorsinc.com. Now, that's the INC, Inc. for Incorporated. simplyfloorsinc.com.
I've never even looked to see if we have a Yelp review on our company at all. I'm afraid.
Really? Well, here's what you need to do. So you need to go to Yelp because your company will be on there. However, you may not have reviews, but they will have a listing, and you have to claim it. Okay. And then you will have to upload things to prove it's yours. You have to control it, so you can put stuff in there about yourself. I mean, not fake reviews. I mean stuff about yourself. And you have to claim the review at least, so no one else does. You figured it out. You own your Yelp review, your page.
I have a long history with Yelp, and
bad or good?
Bad.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know I have not talked to
write,
as long as you
no, because as long as you write them a big check,
they will
manage your negative reviews. If you don't write them a big check, they manage it the other way. Literally, I had a big.
We've heard this more than
I've had consulting. I've done a lot of industry consulting after I sold my second business. A big company in Phoenix that had some fairly challenging reviews on there that were always at the top on Yelp. Sat in a meeting with them. Says it's easy. Listen, you write us a $25,000 check, we'll make this go.
And basically what they're saying is they'll manage it for you.
In the meeting, hey, pass us over a $25,000 check, we'll make these things happen.
But how did they say they would do that, other than...
We just manage them down.
But did they say, did they try to make it sound legit, like, hey...
Of course they did.
I mean, or did they say...
This was a myself, the owner, and basically the guy who's controlling that area of Yelp at a dinner meeting saying, look, we've done everything you asked to do. We've got reviews come on, this stuff's still happening. He goes, you're just not paying enough.
Wow.
I mean,
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yelp is
Well, people are really quick to pull the trigger.
Yeah, but if here's, it sucks. But if they're not creating, if they're creating the negative reviews, that would be unbelievable.
No, they're not.
But if they're not doing that, I don't know if there's any kind of.
Yeah, there is, because
what's pressing, they move them down.
No, I know what you're saying. They could even put the star rating.
But the way they're going to put it is, then we can actively put someone on it to monitor you, and if you're truly a good company, those will go to the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the way they
That's
put
how
it.
they're saying. Yeah.
As long as you pay enough.
Bring that guy back up with the appliance.
Well, I see a lot of people, before they can even call the company, they'll put a Yelp rating on and call us, and not even call the company back.
So what I tell contractors, in all the years I've been working with them, is 2 to 3% of the people you serve are going to be upset if you did it for free and agreed to pay them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So the 2 to 3% that are out there, you just have to, as a business person, a business owner, know that that's going to happen. Plan for it, and do the worst you can. The worst outcome has to be, we're terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Let us refund your money, and no reason, and we'll apologize for any inconvenience.
The best is to be able to pick those people out when you start, though.
And over time, as a young business, a lot of times they're just interested in customers and revenue.
No, I just pick them out.
When I go out in the field to sell, I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing us for the job, especially big jobs like furnace, AC, or, system change jobs, big plumbing jobs, piping jobs.
We have a guy, Jake.
We walk away sometimes.
That's who I was going to mention.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
brought
got
that up.
things away that don't seem good.
He said
And
it's
you're
important to know what jobs to walk
commercial
away from.
business is perhaps the hardest trades to be in, because big projects, you're always scrambling to get paid. People, it's
We got
usually working
retainage
for
out right
yourself.
now, over 240 grand out of retainage, and it just kills our cash flow right now. It's the worst time of year too, because it's around Christmas time and
Commercial
people give out
business, big commercial stuff, you gotta price that in, you gotta really try to get that little bit extra.
And that's what's hard is 10% retainage, a job that's over a year. I mean, we just finished up a project, a 96-unit apartment building in Greeley, and that was a little over a year. Well, the closeout date was December 3rd, and there's almost 150 grand retainage that we won't see for another 3 months. So, man,
It's tough.
Music.
I'm Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. GoCamSolar.com if you're looking for solar. GoCamSolar.com is the website. But I want you to put a slash and then Troubleshooter next to it. And then fill out the form that comes up. You'll get a free analysis of your lot, how much electricity it'll generate using solar on that lot with your roof line. And they'll do it over 20 years. And then you decide if you want a system. If you do want a system, you'll get tax credits, so no down payment, and low monthly payments. And really, I don't know the downside. You tell me if there is one. You immediately, when the system's done, you start saving money, not a penny out of your pocket. You stop paying Excel or your electric company, and you pay for the solar system. That's it. When that solar system is paid for, which is, by the way, cheaper than paying electricity, when that's paid for, you will no longer have a monthly energy bill. Imagine it, okay? Some people have even converted to auxiliary electrical heating because they have such a big solar system. And they guarantee the output for 20 years. The components, the manufacturers and Cam Solar guarantee for 20 to 25 years depending on the component. So, what do? At least do the review. See what you can do. That's GoCamSolar.com/troubleshooter. Bill, welcome. What's going on, Bill?
Hey, social media, that's justifying $1,000 for a cell phone.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that people buy cell phones for. Are you?
Well, anyway, but that's, I don't get the texting thing. I don't see no difference in voicemail.
Well, believe me, Bill, you're in the minority.
I know.
The world has moved to texting and email, and if you don't have email and you don't have a smartphone, you're going to be left behind.
I don't got a cell phone. I don't care. But
Okay.
anyway,
You don't have a cell phone.
I'm sorry, not a cell phone. I don't got a smartphone.
Are you retired, Bill?
I'm a year older than you. Yes.
Okay, you're retired. Okay. So really, if you're retired and you don't care, there's nothing to lose, right?
Right. It's nothing's that important.
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to swipe right. Okay, you don't even know what I mean. Keep going.
Anyway, here's a good little tidbit. I got a question about the mail. I was watching Border Patrol last night, and you know how you always gripe about the cops in front of the donut shop, right?
I have done that on occasion.
Well, the reason why this is why this woman said, at the beginning of a shift, if they get a hamburger or a sandwich and something comes up, by the end of the shift, it's no good. A donut's still good.
Okay, thanks for that humor. Anyway, you notice that donut shops are never robbed? Think about it. Hey, Dave, let's talk about negative reviews. Some businesses now, there's a whole area of law, internet law, digital law. They have gone after, and we have known, because consumers have contacted us, they've gone after a consumer, and they win. If the review is not true, now opinion is protected. Remember, you cannot go after opinion, but even opinion has to be loosely supported. For example, if I say I don't like this restaurant because they have cockroaches, that's my opinion. That doesn't necessarily protect me just because I say that's my opinion. That opinion has to be based on reasonableness. So Dave, if you feel that person is being unreasonable and untruthful and it's hurting you, you can go after them with an attorney. That's really, I know that sounds like, oh, I don't want to do that, but you can. 303-713-TALK. We have more coming up.
Then you would have to demonstrate losses, though. That is so hard. Oh.
Yeah, how do you show that?
You line up people that say, hey, I would have done this if I didn't read that. Yeah.
Really?
Under oath.
Mark, what if I put this out
and
started telling people that we will honestly investigate everyone, and you don't charge consumers, but businesses pay a monthly fee for management. Look at that.
Word of mouth, slow your roll.
The only truth. Do you see this?
I see it.
I'm wondering.
Well, if it's $1.99 or whatever, grab it.
No, I'm saying I looked at other versions of it, but I want to say the only. Because we would be the only. Because we verify every single one.
Or only true reviews. Is that there?
Yeah, without the, I'll get various ones. Yeah, but I really want to get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So is the electrical permitting, electrical licensing in Colorado for the state? So but then if you want to do it in any particular.
That one's available. Grab that too, man. What I just said. That's a good one.
I do.
Without the.
Yeah.
We probably have a record in just about every area around the Front Range, but just recently did a job in Adams County with Westminster.
So
I just had to
it's
review all
going,
had
but
a few things
I
showing that
can't
our
live
contract
chat. It says create a channel. I don't know how to.
Some areas
You were able to
3
do that
years, so only good
So
for.
Mark, we could literally, Mark, I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but we could literally
We just don't
take
go
over
to
that
spring.
space because everyone has the same suspicion and problem.
I only got a few guys that live on this side of Denver. So.
We could do it in a way no one else has ever done.
Good with that contract,
Well, I've got one of the
Try
things
to
I have two guys that work for me. They're master electricians in Indiana and Ohio. They want to come out and live out here.
Pay ourselves $1 million a year.
So they're out here living, doing HVAC work for me. We do electrical.
I think let's get our app done.
No, I'm waiting on that. I'm not going to stop generating ideas. No, of course not. We are always going to have something. Grab them. We're going to be the Lennon and McCartney.
We do have turnabout.
You don't even bring business.
Don't forget
Yeah, but that is a different. Yeah, I haven't forgotten that at all.
Because.
Okay, so the other one you just said is right.
Verified.
Carve some stuff out.
That's probably taken.
20 year plus.
this
I
collar.
build airplane hangars for my wife and I for a living.
Yeah.
You're all dressed up.
We do all
meeting
conduit
now?
sites. That's more
Mark.
That's
That's
you know, and then
Number 9 on which is that what you want?
you got 4 different colors.
Would you guys know what you like at Jimmy John's? I was gonna take an order and get that order.
Number 11.
Number 11?
Mark, that's hard.
He knows
Nice.
Mark.
I've only been there a few times. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Sandwich?
Grab
What's that?
Turkey sandwich.
They're all $1.99 or whatever, right?
What's the
I
number?
don't know what they're.
Do you
They're
want to
cheap.
look on their menu real quick?
It's no strawberry biscuits, but.
So you know. Give me a number 5 and number 2, okay? Do you know what you want from Jimmy John's? Okay.
I'm gonna go with 11 since he knows what it is.
Number 11 times
Well, get
2?
it. We're on air, so grab it while you're sitting there.
Which one?
Oh, the same one, Tom.
I don't know. That's up to you. It becomes a pretty long
Got it,
night.
I'm
I don't
getting
know.
those two.
Italian nightclub, I don't know. I'm not. Mark, do
Yeah.
you want anything? Of course not.
No way, Jose.
I don't care. I'll find out.
Jose,
I'll find out when I'm living.
Yeah.
Number 4?
Company out of Utah.
I want to literally time it.
Yeah, do they add junk to this, Mark? If you know.
They're freaking
Yeah, you got
out.
to
We do all
subtract
their
all that.
affinity
I've heard that.
My God.
Dan and Tom.
Plus, I think they automatically go to 2
Number
years,
11.
not 1 year.
I want
Jack
3.
and Clint.
Yeah.
These. I
No, it's a good idea.
Number
And there's
4.
some.
we hear it too much.
There's some good packages out there. Here's how reviews. Here's how you should really do reviews. Google's the only one doing it properly right now. When I go into a place that's registered with Google, like TSN, we've registered with Google. Okay, it has this address. When people come into this building, when they leave on their smartphone,
Crazy like that.
how was your visit at TSN? And they can actually review right there. That's how you make sure you get reviews.
But a lot of people aren't added in your address.
A lot of people are registered with Google, so they
Someone
don't
wants
have
freaky
it.
fast.
Or they don't have an address. Like these guys probably,
No, but
they go to homes. They don't have every home they go
But
to.
listen to this. What if your phone comes,
Yeah, we do Xfinity
is
remodels
in the proximity of someone from that company?
It happens all the time. I'll leave like a movie theater and we'll pass a little restaurant. How is your food at blah, blah, blah.
Can we, is that a component we can add to our app? So in other words.
We'd have to go in and add it.
You have to have a proximity to add it.
Oh, our app makes you review it, yeah, or highly suggests it. It's in your face. Not only that, I don't know if you remember this, we actually rate the customer as well. We have the vendor rate the customer and the customer rate the vendor at the end.
Scam thing.
One of them will eventually get.
We need to have a way to say this.
No, I
That's
know.
how verify the other.
He can call and say, and talk to them and make sure they're not here.
So,
Yeah.
but you call, why can't you call me?
But it's gotta be.
No, but you would only do that if there's actually if someone complains. You wouldn't have to verify every one. You'd only have to verify the negative, or maybe even the positive.
Yeah, it's not positive. You have to verify something.
We just have to have an algorithm that would pick up bullshit.
And this was different. This is certain.
Maybe certain keywords. I mean, I don't know. We just have to. You just got to design it.
Get that up. It's for people to track.
All they gotta do
And
is
then
get
we
one
throw money at
every-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, this formula we have for a small money raise, an idea, small money raise in a publication, that could be the way to go with things. I didn't know this, but that's how all of them do it. That's how Uber, I wondered, how do you do it? They get the concept, you get people to believe in it, and it's gambling. Those people just say, let's see if we hit craps. That's what they do, Mark.
I know.
And now, because other people have done it ahead of us, we're not like, we're just like one of them.
I'm so gung-ho on this one. I can't wait to get the damn changes back. Then we've got to go through everything again. Then we have to go into beta. We're going to find other changes for sure.
All over inside the kitchen.
But we've got to start making that system work. We got to make sure it can handle everything.
The same place. She's avoided the deputy airlock during the story.
30 degrees.
Troubleshooter. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by DenverEgressWindow.com. So we are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And Ron, I haven't forgotten about you. We're going to talk to you off the air and then talk about how to develop your business idea. And in fact, What you need is to start thinking in terms of being an entrepreneur. If you want to truly build wealth, okay, you can build a certain amount of wealth by managing money correctly, curbing desire. That's the biggest thing. And managing credit, I don't think you have to do away with it. But the true wealth comes from being an entrepreneur, coming up with something that generates income that people need. If you have ideas, now the thing is, if you have ideas, you want to protect them, it's very difficult to call. But if you have ideas for a business on how to get started and the back end and all of that, there are certainly many things we can talk about. People aren't going to run out and steal. If you'd love to do that and nurture new thoughts as we approach a new year, 303-713-TALK. And of course, if you have a problem, question, or complaint on anyone or anybody, call us. What you won't find here are fake reviews. If people call and say they have a problem, we investigate. If they say they had a great experience, we investigate. So we want to know your experiences. Even if you just want to sound off, you can do that on the air. 303-713-TALK. But one of the most common complaints I hear from businesses are fake reviews or exaggerated reviews. And it just sucks. You know, and then we've heard a lot of complaints about Yelp saying, look, we can help you out, but they expect you to advertise with them, and those people get priority. We've heard that about the Better Business Bureau. People who spend money with the Better Business Bureau are treated better than people that don't. We heard that about a number of different, like rip-off reports. Rip-off reports, flat out, you know, they tell you, well, in order to remove this, you got to be a member, you got to do this, you got to do that. It sucks. So there is a need for you to investigate thoroughly when you're online. You can't go by a few negative reviews.
Let's talk Sleaze Brigade real quick. Let's tie that into this conversation.
SleazeBrigade.com is great. With the people that rip off people, we put on there. And
think of the investigation we do into it.
Yeah.
We get, before they go up, we get both sides, and generally, we're not talking a little miscommunication. These are the bad guys out there. SleazeBrigade.com.
Yeah, and by the way, again, I'm guilty of not keeping it totally up to date, and you know, that is one of my New Year's resolutions. And as I said, Denver egress window. Okay, you know what I mean by an egress window? It's a window well. That's what people call it, and a window. And it's for safety of your family. That's the main reason. But you have to manage the drainage and also the aesthetics of it. Denver egress window can go in and rebuild them for you. And if it's already there, it's not going to cost that much. But, you know, the builders put in that ugly corrugated metal and stuff. They can rebuild it with beautiful composite material or pavers. They can also punch through and put one in where there isn't one. Or make those little ones legal so you can count that square footage. They can even do walkout basements on flat lots. That's right, terracing down to a basement. So it's DenverEgressWindow.com. You'll love the way this company does business, the Sennett family, and I've known them for years. So look them up, DenverEgressWindow.com. So let's talk to Ross, who has some paperwork. And I want to remind you, today we have some guests in the house, and I want you guys to chime in. We have some guys that dropped in. They're commercial electricians mostly, and they dropped in to say hi. They're common, we call them common men, where we pluck them from the great unwashed and have them sit and bask in radio glory, we call it. And that they're from Bar Electric. And then we have Mike Robinson, a member of the referral list in Colorado Springs with Smith Plumbing and Heating, probably one of the best value companies there are for plumbing and heating. I'm not sure how he arrived at that pricing model. Anyway, we'll talk to him about that. Water heaters for under $1,000 fully installed. And that's Smith Plumbing and Heating. We'll talk to him in a little while. So Ross, Suzanne is handing me the paperwork right now. So what's going on?
Well, we were talking yesterday about this show cause thing, and I have no idea what
All right, that's what it is. Okay, we wanted to have our attorney take a look at it, and we will. So here's what we're talking about. This is an old judgment, and all of a sudden you get served. But this judgment's been there for 6 or 7 years, and they renewed it a while ago. So why all of a sudden did you get a show cause? And it says notice to show cause regarding reviver of revived judgment. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Now I'm not going to give you any legal stuff here. I'm going to let our attorney do that, but I'm going to look at this. And it says that that you have an unsatisfied judgment for 12 grand, 12,900 plus course. Now, therefore, the defendant, Ross, shall show cause within 14 days from this service if he or she has any reason why the judgment, the judgment should be vacated. So really, that's what I thought it was. Here's what's puzzling to me. You said they already renewed it, but they didn't. You said they already renewed it. When did you say that? When did they renew it?
The original judgment was 07. They renewed in 13.
Okay, then why would they be coming 13, 14, 15, 16? Oh, I guess, wait a minute. I guess it would be time to almost renew. That's what they're getting ready to renew it again. I thought, wait a minute, this is too random. It's not. I didn't do the calculations. If they did that probably in 13, it's coming up on 2019, 6 years. They're just being proactive. So that's what it is. Right. That's all it is. They're just, every time they renew a judgment, they ask you if you know of a reason it should not be revived. What would be reasons it should not be revived? First, they never served you and you never fought it to begin with. You lose because you only have a certain amount of time to do that. I think you lose. The second one would be, however, I paid him. I paid him. He should have vacated it. And then you prove you paid. I don't know of any other reasons why, you would get it you would stop their renewal. But that's what it is. So really,
well, doesn't Colorado have a statute saying you can't renew after, what, 8, 10 years? I don't know what it is, but that would actually be a valid reason if they have such a thing.
No, they don't.
You're sure? I can renew a judgment for 100 years.
Well, that I don't know, about 100.
Well, whatever.
I do know people who have renewed them 3 and 4 times. I don't actually know of a limitation, Mark. I do know that if you don't collect on a debt, you can't do it after a certain amount of time. You can't do it through the courts. You can try to do it. But I don't know. I think you can renew judgments. Just keep renewing them. And this is just hanging out.
I'd like to ask who's our judgment or our collector?
Well, Brandon knows a lot about it. Siglian.
No, the other guy. All he does is collections. I would love to know that.
Frank Ball.
Because that might be an affirmative defense.
Can we call Mr. Ball? Can we call?
Not Harry Balls. Remember him?
No, and that's Harry Sack.
Oh, Harry Sack. My bad.
And that's a real name. A real name. He owned our what did he own? Not our place, Century RV. He owned RV America.
RV America.
Harry Sack. And it's not Harry.
You're a child.
It's not Harry. It's Hari, and they call him Harry Sack. S-A-C-H. True story. Harry Sack. Okay? And so, what can I say? And that's his name. So, I can't be believed for saying somebody's name. Harry Sack, Harry Sack, Harry Sack. 303's, men and their jokes. It's just so stupid. Let's continue here. Ron has a software invention, and he says it's going to revolutionize call centers. I'm going to talk to him off the air and then try to hint where it won't hurt him. But if you have any ideas, of course, give us a call. We have a lot to talk about here. All right, 303-713-TALK. Have you ever come across something on the job that you thought might be an invention? Has that ever happened to you? Be careful. Some employment agreements say, or not even employment, some employment agreements flat out say, whatever you think of here is ours, even if it's not related to your work. When I say think of it and develop it. Others, by common law, have lost the rights because the employer said, wait a minute, you're an electrician, you were working for us, and you found a wire stay that perfectly places wires where they should be, and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, even though we didn't have a work-for-hire agreement, it is work-for-hire because you were hired, you're working for me, and you developed it. So you can lose out if you think of something on the job. You can. But I'm sure everyone who's worked at a field has come up with something. Think about that. Now, I know guys who came up with a water heater idea, and the reason I'm mentioning it, they disclosed it more than a year ago, several years ago, and they'd never done anything with it, so it's public domain. It's a very simple idea for a water heater to save energy. Just very, very simple. And it is a holding tank before it starts heating that brings it up. It's really ingenious. And then a circulation system within the water heater that happens with natural convection and with a system of pipes. You'd have to see it, but it really just sits there, and it keeps hot water more evenly hot for a longer period of time. So then when the heater kicks on, it doesn't have to work as hard. I thought it was a great idea. I forget where I put the diagram. But remember this, if you reveal something to someone, you only have a year to act on it if that is a public revelation. If you don't get a non-disclosure, and if you make a disclosure, it can be concluded that you revealed it in public. It has to be revealed or published. Ron, you telling me about it is not considered being published, so don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you that right now, that I don't consider it being published. You're just asking me for advice on something. 303-713-TALK. John wants to talk about a public adjuster we sent to him. Right now I want to talk to David Salisbury, attorney at law. We always have questions for David on trusts and probate and all that. And David, what is a drop-dead list? I think I have a word for what you're going to talk about. I call it a drop-dead list. What should be on it? Do you know what that means? That means everyone should have a list of everything that's important if you drop dead. And of course, it could be for any reason. You're absent, you get sick. But around here, we call it a drop-dead list. Mark made one for me. I made one for him. So what should be on that, David?
Well, Tom, real quickly, I mean, you and I have been talking for years, and our mantra has always been, get a will, get a will. Well, that's fine, and you definitely need one. But if you have a will and you die and no one knows what you own,
bingo,
where it is,
right,
any of that,
right,
it creates, so you've got a will, you know who the property goes to, you just don't know what property that is.
Right.
So you are absolutely right, Tom. You got to hit it right on the head. Make a list, bank accounts, real estate, bank account numbers, real retirement money, whatever it is.
A financial and asset inventory.
And for most people, Tom, it wouldn't take 30 minutes to do.
What a good idea, David. And you know, you always talk about this stuff when they come in. You're not just a I'll get it done, get out of here kind of guy. I mean, you walk them through it. And you do it for flat rates, which I love. One price for the trust, one price for the will, one price for this, one price for that. You need a beneficiary deed. You know, I love it. So an inventory list should go with all wills, of course. So if it says 50% of something, you know what that something is.
You got to know what it is and where to get it, or else you could spend forever. Think of the great Colorado payback. It wouldn't exist if not for this.
God, there's so much.
Think of all the money people have no idea is theirs.
I know, and they're called escheat funds.
I got $400 from that.
Did you? You got $400?
Yeah.
How did you find out you had it?
I heard it through my cousin, and then I just went on the site and found it.
I always go on and check from time to time. Here's the number for David Salisbury, by the way. He's on our referral list at referrallist.com. 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911.
What was your $400 from?
So, it was from
Tom, one of the things you asked about was a water heater deal.
Different
how
state?
we did that.
Yep, Nevada.
Here's what I found.
I actually
Contract. First of all, water heaters are
just for you today.
whatever. I mean, they're staple. You put them in. Companies that charge a higher fixed rate are really subsidizing those customers that have less or more. So they do the thing.
Just like airlines.
So what we do is we come in and say, look, straight, simple. You've already got the B vent. Everything's set up. All we do is choose gas connector and hook it up. Takes a couple hours maybe to do one in and one out. So we're saying, look, if it's a simple one, let us just come in and do it for you. Plus, we put our sticker on. We establish then the relationship with other plumbing, other HVAC. However, if we go in there and say, listen, you've got single wall vent. You got to go to B vent. Bring up the code. You know, we can fix this. We've got 2 or 3 things that have been taken out over the years. Redo some of the. It's going to be a little more, But it's your choice. Here's the water heater. We do have to do these for codes, to pass codes, so here's some extras, so that only the people who need or want those enhancements to that, to their something to pay for it. And so
If someone wants that water heater, you will not do it without bringing it up to code.
Correct.
Well, you can't.
That's correct, because I pull permits on everything I do.
So it's under $1,000 plus any code enhancements required.
But in the springs, if you do 10 water heaters, how many of them aren't going to be up to code without additional?
Hey, I got to talk to Ron, damn it. Okay, Ron, I'm sorry, man. We always get into these conversations.
I would say.
What is your deal?
It's about 60% of them require some.
Okay. What is usually the upgrade required?
B-vent
thing? Yeah.
B-vent. Upgrading from the old B-vent code was 3 inches minimum. Now it's 4.
Yeah.
Which isn't huge.
Well, no,
they sign on and sign off with an app.
Chimney to the furnace.
Right. So
yeah,
depending on whys.
Okay.
I
don't want to burst your
bubble.
bubble,
The furnace,
but
there's some. That might be.
Not me. I've heard.
Why on
not positive.
the 95, 96% efficient furnaces? Nice ones go on. Why do you have to run that PVC out? What is that for? Why does that have to go out?
Well, the exhaust air isn't hot enough to naturally.
But on the old ones it is?
Because they're 80% efficient. So what happens is you get a second bite at the heating outlet. So on the prime, on an 80%, it's going through one heat exchanger. We're drawing the heat off one, and about 20%, it's warm enough to go up. We have to heat it now. We can't naturally vent. We have to have a certain size venting that allows for that venting on the system. For example, you can't just put it in an a closet.
No, I know that anyone can do, but don't. But
here's too wide will happen and won't exhaust. That's why it condensates. That's acidic and we found that out in the 90s.
Chimney started falling down.
Started falling down. Like, what the hell happened? We found out that they're not exhausting the way you want. It gets in, it eats away the mortar.
I'm surprised how much humidity is coming out of there because the water drain coming off those things.
Yes, whatever.
I love it. Man, I love it.
There's a lot of water that comes out of the furnace, and yet it still puts steam out the.
Well, what happens is because we get the second bite of the apple, right? It goes to the secondary heat exchange. So the primary and then the secondary, it's coming out so cool.
I understand. So here's what you do. You have to treat people
a little bit. It condenses that PVC runs back down and that's why you can't.
They don't have to do all 5. Some can do 2, some can do 1.
That's why, because the fan is variable too.
Yeah.
So if it's only kicking up a ½ degree in a certain area of the house, you don't even know the thing's on, man. You have no idea. And the savings, literally per month, has probably been. Not only is the climate way better, but it's probably $50 a month. I mean, that's a lot. Our house is huge.
I know it's big, but you think it's that much savings?
Okay. I don't think you can. I'm going through the same thing on something different.
When you're driving
I don't
the
think
city,
you can.
4 cylinders shut off.
Yeah, like
I just ran with 4. Then you're going to
listen.
That's how
It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
That's how they
You
got
still
43
have
miles
things
to
you
the
can
gallon.
protect.
Freaking
Before you do anything, am I up? Okay, hold on. We'll come to you. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. TheHormonePros.com. They ought to change their damn name. They're called Revitalize Health. They do BioT treatment with the pellet for testosterone, estrogen. They also have thyroid treatments. They do nutritional consultations. They do Botox and Juvederm and fillers. Fillers, the jury's out on those, whether you like them. If you like them, you love them. But I like the microneedling they do, which stimulates your own collagen to grow, and it doesn't go away. I mean, you continue to age, and you may have to do it again, but that collagen doesn't go away. They also have thread lifts. Really good people. And the reason I call them the Hormone Bros, 3 brothers, and I said when they came in, it looks like when you go to their clinic, it looks like an episode of The Dating Game or Bachelors. So it's fun, though. They're fun people. They're really dedicated to what they do. And I don't mean to diminish that with the name, but the name is easy to remember, and I want you to. They're at 470 and Ken Carroll. The reason I say that is the guy's in today getting lunch on me is because I said Ken Carl, and I said I wouldn't do that anymore. Anyway, why don't you look them up? TheHormoneBros.com.
hormonebros.com or just hormonebros.com, 303-713-TALK. Now, I talked to Ron off the air about his software. We're going to talk in generalities in a minute here, but I want to talk to John to get this quick call. This is an on-air review. John, you originally called. Now, when did John call, Suzanne? Was it just the other day, right?
This is a different caller,
Oh,
Tom.
it's a totally different caller.
The other
Okay.
caller was Donald.
Oh, I'm sorry. John, take us from day one. What was it, a hailstorm?
Yeah, it was a hailstorm that we had.
And what happened?
Well, obviously the house got beat up. I have a rental house that got beat up.
Yeah.
And, so I actually had to go to you guys to find out the name of the guy. But
here's what I want to know, though, John. Why were you pissed off at your insurance company?
Well, just the numbers I was getting didn't seem like it was going to cover everything. They came out.
And that's because insurance companies suck. Insurance companies, I can say this about no other industry except insurance. They are designed to rip people off. Okay? And again, not one insurance company has ever come forward to challenge that statement because they know that if I go through their memos, their philosophies, their line budgets, and their everything, they're designed to rip people off. Keep going.
So anyhow,
the adjuster from your insurance company. By the way, they never adjust up. They were adjusting your claim. That's a funny word. You mean reducing your claim, paying the least they possibly can, and you were pissed.
Right, and so I had the roofer come out. The roofer looked around. He found more stuff, and that's when I remember hearing Matt from Paragon Services coming
Public
on.
Public adjusting,
Yep.
something people don't know about. Do you know what a public adjuster is, guys? No? Do you know what you do? Well, you're a smart guy. I went to Northwestern. But most people don't know what public adjusting even is. And so you heard us talking about it and got his name.
That's right.
What happened?
Well, so I had him come out. He did a walk around. He found many other items that were unnoticed by the insurance company and by my roofer.
What was the insurance company's initial offer to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Roughly.
I'm going to say it was right around probably $9,000.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened then with Paragon? A public adjuster. By the way, public adjusters work for consumers and represent them in insurance claims. What happened?
Well, after all was said and done, he pretty much gave us like $10,000.
Who did?
The Matt.
An additional 10?
Yep. An additional. So like 19,000.
Doubled it.
Man, we've seen 10 times one time.
No, we had the one of the best examples.
$800.
John, and John, you can attest to this. When they find extra damage, you don't always have to have each and everything done. You sometimes can put money in your pocket. It is not insurance fraud. If you're being reimbursed for a casualty loss, the only time it can be fraud is if you claim you did work that they're paying for, like with replacement but however, if you can get things done and they adjust it and settle it and you can get things done and save money, there is no law against that. So people just are taken advantage of all the time. For example, let me give you an example. People ask me this. Windows. How many storms can Windows go through? You think infinite? No. There's a certain number. What is that number? It depends. But it's something. It may not be damaged, but they're weakened. Everything in the universe has a consequence. It's weakened. You can make the argument that it's weakened by a storm. And you have certain allowances. Yeah. You don't. So what do? Do you replace the window? No, you don't have to. You could have a site adjustment. There are all kinds of losses the insurance company will never tell you about. And shut your mouth. Those people who just thought, oh, Tom, you're teaching people how to rip people off and all of our rates are going to go up. Wrong. Your rates are going to go up anyway. Your rates always go up. And insurance companies always take advantage of you. So people fighting back won't add a dime to that. You know why? It'll just mean instead of making $100 billion, they may only make $99 billion $999,000.
I want to give a quick example of what you just said. When we lived in Castle Rock, I saw a bunch of my neighbors getting their roofs done. So I look up and I said, man, I don't see any. We don't have any leaks. We don't have any damage. My rates then went up because the whole area got hit by hail that year.
That's right.
So when my rates went up, then I called my insurance company. They came out and basically did 30 grand worth of work. I would have never have done it if my rates didn't go up. So if you're one of these people sitting there going, oh, my roof, you know, big deal, hail hit it, looks fine to me. You have up to a year, sometimes 2 years to call.
Also, insurance companies, listen to this one, never lose money.
There's
Now,
an exception.
No.
9/11, for example, was an exception.
But here's what I'm talking about. I'll venture to tell you, Mark, they didn't lose money. If you take the aggregate of their premiums and their investments over the last few years, that quarter or that year, they may have lost.
Well, no, I'm just saying Uncle Sam had to step in and save their asses.
But insurance companies, when they say they lose money, they're talking about an area or a quarter or a month or a situation where premiums didn't cover. You'll hear this, by the way, premiums didn't cover this or that. They don't tell you about the investments. Insurance companies are pure fraud.
And they're sneaky as hell.
Fraud.
A lot of people that really call
well, not
Compass.
Pure fraud. You do get something.
When we talk about Compass a lot, how many times this year, Tom, have we had people got hit by hail, had no idea they had ACV or actual cash value on their roof? They had no idea.
They had no coverage as a result.
Remember the one guy? His coverage, listen to this, was 10% of the value of his house. So his roof, just on his roof would have been a $30,000 deductible.
In other words,
for a $15,000 roof. He had no coverage.
He had zero coverage.
It's total bullshit if you think about that. They sold him insurance that really does nothing.
So Tom, we use the public adjuster when we go in to help people that suffer flooding. So that's why I'm familiar with it. Over my career, when people have flooding issues, and they're wonderful about that, or a sewer backup. Immediately, if there's a sewer backup, I'm talking about 2 or 3 inches of shit in somebody's house. So come and say, oh no, that's not a problem. Well, there are exceptions on what happened in there. We go in and do an evaluation, and if they won't listen to us, we bring in a public adjuster to help people who otherwise are like, what do I do? I mean, I got to get this fixed. Right?
Water's the worst. There's so much hidden damage.
What do you think that 6-pound piece of moon rock will go for at auction?
Where did they get it from? Did it fall to earth?
No, I think that
they brought it back.
Did my job.
And someone kept it?
Got a public adjuster.
No, I think
I've got some moon rock I'll sell.
I think the government sells it.
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh, wow.
Let me look. But
I heard that they gave out small pieces, and some of those were being sold.
They usually find meteor sites from, a million years ago because of the metals.
I got to look. We've got
Is there any metals we use in any industry that are purely from outside of this planet?
No.
Daniel?
Because there's no abundance.
When I don't want to nudge you, it's because the food is here and I need to go down and grab it, okay?
That wasn't freaky fast.
It's not freaky fast yet. What?
When you go down, can I have just a flat
Pink
plate?
cut?
We don't have a bowl, buddy.
Have a
I don't know, if we can walk into one.
They can't tell what it's made from.
Which wasn't available back
which was unavailable, so it had to come from a meteorite.
Yeah. They probably found some metal in
Now,
it.
there's a difference between meteorite.
One of them could have been UFO.
What? There's a difference between a meteorite.
We don't sculpt
meteorite.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen the crater out in Arizona where the meteor hit?
Oh, yeah, been there a couple times.
Great.
It's amazing. You smell.
For some reason,
I smell it.
It must be on a vector or something, because I fly over it every single time I go to
Just a little south of 40.
It's always there.
He owed you lunch, okay? You guys want to try for another lunch?
What is it? Oh, no, please don't.
Dan over here. Dan, well, hold on before I even go there. No, sometimes. Let me see your shoes.
Oh, God, I'm so tired of
those are tough. You know what, Dan? Come look at
They're
these.
juvenile.
I don't. Can you or not before I even make a bet?
years ago, and
Maybe.
my hair bothered me,
Yeah.
but not anymore. Because
We'll bet you lunch.
And they laugh every
We
single
know
time.
where you got your shoes.
And now my hair
I'll put it this way. He knows where you got your shoes. I don't. Lunch. You know where you got them, though, and you can't lie. No bullshit. No lying. Bet?
You got your shoes on your feet.
Oh, on your feet! You owe lunch!
Oh.
That is a lunch!
I did not see that coming.
Tom, what happened?
Heads up! Lunch! Tom can tell you where you got your shirt.
He'll pass on that one.
That was a great song.
You like that?
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to actually guess.
So you can send
every time.
Right bottom.
Tom loves
yeah,
it when we do
I
this.
mean, I didn't see that coming.
I had to go get a whole bunch of new shoes because I had 5 pairs of shoes the right one was worn out.
That's right. So originally happened, geez, how many years ago? 30 years ago, I was in New Orleans. And a kid came up and did that. And they're still doing it down there. We had a guy come on the show and he was going to New Orleans and said, hey, this is what they might do down there. And the kid come up and did that.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. I never would have thought of that one. Huh. That's funny.
So if you go to New Orleans, they do that.
All right, yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. Here. I'm gonna have to get somebody that it works. Yeah, you tell me.
So we have had a couple jobs come off your show, Tom. The advertising.
What's that?
We've had a couple jobs already that got off your show. So thank you for that.
Is this going to be a screening deal that you got with the water heater, or is that
That's
just your standard?
Yeah, that's basically we're saying we want to be, your water heater leaders.
Let me tell you, that's a great deal.
It is.
It really is a gas water heater for $900.
Not $9.95.
$9.95.
And for example, like I go in, if you've already got a expansion tank, you don't need that. If you've already got, so basically that's.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. A lot of people, they say, thanks, Tom. Why would you even give his number out? People shouldn't drink and drive, and that's true. And but I always caution people, don't drink and drive. So why do you give his number out? Well, whether we like it or not, everyone is entitled to a defense. Not everyone is guilty when charged. Although with DUIs, really mostly people are guilty, mostly. Every once in a while you have someone for some reason or another that gives a false indication. But here's the deal. The point is, even if you've learned your lesson and you're guilty and you want to go through the system, you need an attorney to do it. A small thing like not knowing the deadlines and not knowing how to file certain things can screw the entire case. You can end up losing your license for a year or more. So here's the deal. You have two things going on. A criminal case and you have a separate motor vehicle case. Two separate cases. People don't know that. Joe Lazara will take care of it for you. And again, it's easy to avoid. Uber, Lyft, or a designated driver. Joe's not going to preach to you. 303-429-6200. He does everything on a flat rate. I love flat rate attorneys because they say, here it is, and then it's done. There's no changing. 303-429-6200. Let's talk. And what's going on, Mark?
So you bought them lunch. Now they've got to buy us lunch, just so you know.
Suzanne, the morons here, they did their prank again, Mark and Dan.
Oh, the dumb joke, the shoe joke.
Hey, that dumb joke has got us more lunches.
The dumbest joke I've ever heard.
Every time somebody comes to the show.
Don't tell it. I mean, you're going to ruin free lunches.
No, every time. And then here's
He
the
might
deal.
not, but I might.
If somebody on the here's the deal. They can even do it on the phone. They can tell you where you got your shoes. They even do it on. But here's what's funny. They've done this 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000. They've done it so many times, and they laugh like it's the first time, like 8-year-old boys.
Because the look on people's
faces. Oh my
faces.
God. Anyway, Madison, how can we help you, dear? What's going on?
Well, on the day after Thanksgiving, I had taken my fiance's van actually over to a shop with known wheel bearing issues. Contacted them that.
Now, what kind of vehicle is it?
It's a 1999 Ford E350, and it had about 230,000 miles.
Oh my God! How long has he owned it?
So he's only owned it for about 2 years. But man, that thing was a trooper because he does service. So
I can't
was a
believe it.
trooper.
So how many miles did he put on it?
He probably put close to 70,000 or 80,000 on it.
Yeah, boy, is it dangerous buying high mileage vehicles. It's so dangerous unless you are very, very careful and know the background and the service history. But let's not go there right now. He owns it. You took it to a shop for wheel bearing issues.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know it was a wheel bearing issue?
I work in an automotive shop. I just couldn't get the.
But you knew
down
that
to
you
my
knew
shop.
that what you knew it was a wheel bearing.
Yes.
Okay, so you took it in and told them what?
I told him I needed an estimate to get that serviced, only on the left side.
Okay, and then what?
I got a phone call that afternoon that they had disassembled the entire front end of the vehicle, and that the van had to have $1,100 worth of work done.
Okay,
to
did
leave
you?
Whether I
And that's,
sold it.
by the way, that's possible. I mean, it is possible that it needs all that work because it's old and it has a lot of mileage. But here's the kicker, okay? The law is on your side. I mean, you have an Auto Repair Act in Colorado that says if you drove that car in, they had to give you a written estimate before doing any work, or they had to get specific approval. Now, this is if the work is going to exceed $100 or 10% of what they told you, or any work at all, they have to give you an estimate, meaning that they can't just go ahead and work. Now, if they said, well, when you dropped it off, you said do whatever it takes. If they, let's say they claim that, they still are required to give you a written estimate and get approval. Once you leave the shop, now this is the thing, they have to get your authorization by phone if it's going to be more than they estimated. But even if they called you on the phone, it still doesn't replace the written estimate. These guys are screwed. Do they really believe that they can charge you this now if you decide not to have the work done?
They actually told me, I told them that we were going to go ahead and have the van towed out of there, and they told me that it couldn't leave until I did the work.
Well, okay, we got to call them. I mean, apparently they don't know anything about the Auto Repair Act. You're sure you did not get you did not sign your name to anything?
No, I dropped it off before they were open, and so then I called them that morning.
They can still do that by phone, though.
Hold on. There are some exceptions. When you drop a car off, they have to call you still.
Yeah, but I think it's 100 is implied.
Here's the deal. You dropped it off. Did they know you were dropping it off?
No.
See, this is okay. This is getting more complicated. They did not know you were dropping it off. So
not at the time that I left it there.
Well, what did you plan on doing? Just calling them when they opened, right?
Yep.
And you were hold on. I understand
with them.
that's what you did. But your plan, Madison, was to drop it off, then call them and say, by the way, I dropped it off. It's out there, over there. Look at it. And then what if they had a 2-week lead time? I mean, in other words, why would you do that is what I'm asking, I guess.
Well, I didn't have another choice, really. It was broke down on the side of the road.
Why? But you drove it in?
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, so...
Did you drive it in or did you tow it in? That's still another
exception.
Okay. You drove it in before or after hours, before however you look at it. You dropped it off, but your plan was to drop it off and call them as soon as possible. And when you called them, they had not started on it, right?
Correct.
Okay. They're going to wiggle out of this somehow because of that. But I don't think it gets them. I still don't think it relieves them of responsibility. Are you looking it up now, Mark? Okay. We're looking it up and let you know. But I don't think it totally lets them out of it. So our guest today, we have Smith Plumbing and Heating. And they have this water heater. It's not a special. It's a regular price. Is $995. For remove and replace a water heater. Now, if you need code upgrades that have nothing to do with that particular installation, in other words, if you need an update with the flue and different things, they will charge you for that. But that does, most of the time, if you have a legal and up-to-code water heater, they can remove and replace it for $995. And when they do have the code upgrades, what are normally the code upgrade things? Like what are we talking about so they can maybe get an idea?
Well, a lot of times they have to upgrade the venting system to B-vent. The old code was 3 inches, now it's 4.
Okay. And does that take a lot to do?
No. It's a $100, $125,
Okay.
depending on what it is.
Okay.
But we don't make everybody pay for it with one price. If you need it, we offer it. Obviously, you have to have it to bring it up to code.
But meaning you don't force it on them.
No, we don't
Yeah.
force it, and they know that up front before we
Right.
start.
Right.
They know
Right.
everything.
It's not like you get there and start it and then say, oh, by the way, you need this and this. So anyway.
So the automotive deal.
Yes.
So here's the deal. It's exactly what I was saying. Here is the reasons why they can get around it, okay? They sign a written waiver saying, I don't want an estimate. Estimate is after disassembly, which they approved. Estimate is for additional charges. Or the vehicle is towed in and left before or after business hours, in which case no more than $100.
Okay, good. So even though she dropped it off, they still are limited. Okay, you're going to take this, Deputy Clint? We're going to call him right now for you, all right? Right now. Buyandbuild.net. Buy and Build is the place to go for below wholesale pricing. Do you know, these guys are electricians, they'll understand this. Lighting fixtures at a light store, oh my God. You pay $1,400 for this brushed bronze, blah, blah, blah. You can get this at Buy and Build. I've compared. You can get these light fixtures you see for $1,400, $1,500. You can get for $140, $150, same stuff. You can get plumbing fixtures, pennies on the dollar. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, buyandbuild.net, or if you have a contractor, send them there. I'm telling you, below wholesale. They even have cabinets, they have countertop materials, they have hardwood floors, they have engineered floors, they have luxury vinyl tile, and that is buyandbuild.net. That's the best place. Go look at that, and then drop by 4800 Washington Street.
Buy and Build.
This report is-
This faucet set, $2,100 for shower and sink. $2,100 at Buy and Build came altogether $300 and something.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
Plumbing fixtures are ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys should go there.
They just get leftover stock?
No, it's not. It's not even left over. That's the ridiculous part. You would think it is.
There's waters over here if you guys want any.
I basically eat this like a salad.
Get a bowl.
It's a chef salad. That's what it is.
What's that?
After the show, I'm going to run down there and we'll get together from the Yazoo's down there. Just need that.
We should bring these guys to pay. They owe you large.
Hey, good point.
So Tom, you might like this.
Yes.
Maybe we'll take out and
do
show.
advertising around.
Next time we need some electrical work. Hey.
Hey, you let me know. I'll buy you guys lunch.
No.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Tom doesn't appreciate that joke.
He loves it. You know why? Because he lost on it and had to buy us lunch. If I literally counted up how many lunches Tom and Dan owed me, it would be never ending.
We actually got a barmaid with that.
Really?
Yeah.
This one. And she we better a free beer, and sure enough, man, she gave us a free beer.
People notice if you just on Facebook with $300 in his pile, he starts working on it.
There's another good one.
Really happy.
You find the pool table.
Mark, yeah, we ought to do some digital for him.
Look at this. Look at that ad. That's his wife. That's his wife. Look at the ad.
Oh, I knew this.
Would that be fun? That would be a fun ad. I'll bet you.
Not only that, it's good clickbait. People will click on
That
it.
is good quick drops.
It is. It's cool looking.
I think it would get.
And you know how I got it, Tom? She was driving my truck to go through a drive-thru.
Yeah.
She's getting her food, and the guy there in the drive-thru said, do you actually do the plumbing? She goes, no, I'm in the company, but I don't really do it. I grew up in the plumbing company. She goes, not too bad, because you can come and do plumbing in my house anytime.
That is a great ad. It reminds me of the old, there's a picture of a woman we have on an old tin that's kind of got that same look going, you know? I forget what it's for, though. It might have been for oil.
She's that type of coloring that they old ads like Coca-Cola and stuff.
That's what I said. I got a tin at home.
Yeah, she would look good on that.
She's a pinup model.
Yeah.
So she used to do the old vintage cars.
Yeah.
She used to be like the 50s look on the old vintage
She
cars.
looks like she has that old-fashioned look.
Exactly. Yeah. I can show you some.
The only thing is when you said you out there, they say, hey, I didn't order you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's interesting because
you meet in college?
No, actually met when I was doing some consulting work out in California, and she swore she'd never move. Oh, where you got her? Until I showed her Colorado, she's like, I could live here.
How tall are you?
6'4".
How tall is she?
6 foot.
How old do you think he is?
I know you've heard of cosmetic dentistry.
Let's say he's
53.
A more natural,
Oh, no.
not just a
I
cover.
was less than that.
55, right?
For adults,
I would say
I'm only guessing high. I'm guessing high
I
because
know.
he was trying to trick me.
Right.
59.
Oh, 59.
Oh, no. See, I would never guess that. And when I said 53, 50, because I thought he was trying to trick me, and you were probably in about 52 or 53. I would have never guessed 50.
When I first met him, I swear to God, I thought he was on BioT. I asked him, I said, are you doing BioT or something? When he told me he was 59.
I just,
How old is your wife then?
41. So we didn't meet in college.
28.
So here's a funny story. My first start at Utah State was at San Jose State. She grew up in San Jose. So my first start was when she was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't.
It happens.
The honest story on that too is, I didn't even reach out to her. She reached out to me on like the match stuff, you know. And I was like, why would she be reaching out to me?
Well. Hi, Tom Martino here.
IdealHomeLoans.com. Did you know you can get second opinions for loans? You're not signing a contract when you do an application. You're not. So you're not locked with a lender. If you think things are going too slowly, or you think you're paying too much for something, Ideal Home Loans would happily take a look at your package. Oh, I should put that another way. Wow! Whoa, my God, did I just say it? Get a free look at your package. I will not say that anymore. Your loan package. 303-713-TALK is our number if you want to complain. But Ideal Home Loans, if you want to get a second look, or truly, and I'm serious about this, if you want to get a guaranteed closing and a pre-approval, it's like a cash deal when you go to buy a house. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. All right, so let's talk. Madeline, I'm Madison. We're calling this shop, okay?
Okay.
What do they tell you when you say, I did not give you authorization? What do they say? Do they just think you're going to take it?
Or better yet, what are they going to tell us?
What are they going to tell you?
Good question. Yeah, what do you think they'll say? She told us to fix it?
Oh, no, I know they will not, because I have email proof that says, well, we did not get authorization.
Wait, you do have emails that admit that? I don't even know. I don't know how they're going to.
I'm going to go tell Clint that while he's talking to him.
Yeah, just hold on, all right? Ann, what's happening, Ann?
Martino.
Hey, what's going on, Ann?
Okay, first I want to thank you for your help last week with the person that was in prison having his cell.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
I know the grandma didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Even though she listened to the radio. But I believe the people that called you, all right?
Okay.
Now, I have another problem. Let me get my glasses on. 1 minute, please.
All right, 1 minute.
I do the talking for all the elderly people that live out here on the Eastern Plains because they're frightened of you.
Good. Wait. They're frightened of me. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay.
Tom Martino, the Crusader.
Okay, tell me what I can do to help you.
You don't want to know what they call you? Tom Martino, the Crusader.
Oh, I heard it. I love it.
For all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have a great-grandmother who's frightened of her great-grandson.
You Oh, no, okay, I get what you mean. You know
She's
a great...
the spokesperson,
Yes,
Tom.
you know a great-grandma, and she's afraid of her kid?
Yeah, her great-grandson.
Why?
Well, you have to be around these kids today, Tom. They're very disrespectful, and they're very crude and very mean.
All right, so what can we do to help?
Okay. He took her to a car lot 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
And I don't want to say the name of the car lot because I'm not sure about anything at this point,
Okay,
right?
all right, go ahead.
She paid $65,000 for a brand new Dodge Charger.
How much? 65?
$65,000.
Yeah.
The
But why did
$700 a month.
did he make great-grandma buy it?
Yes.
So this brat took great-grandma.
Yeah.
How old is she?
In her 70s.
Oh, okay. So she buys a car. Did he force her?
Yeah.
Well, what does that
But
mean?
this is
He
the
grabbed her hand and made her sign? What do you mean he forced
you don't
her?
have these juveniles living with you. You don't understand what it's like.
No, they pressured her is what you're saying.
The truck is in her name.
Yeah.
Well, that's good at least.
And at the dealership, they
it
made her change the amount she earns every month as a hairdresser so she would qualify for the loan.
Wait, they told her to lie?
Yes.
Does she have any proof of that?
Yes.
What proof?
Her cell phone recorder was accidentally on.
Honest to God, this is great.
It's insane.
No,
Anyway,
she has a record. She knew enough to record this?
No, it accidentally got bumped in her purse.
See, there is a God.
Yeah, there is.
How do you Okay,
her son is
can we get a
flying in
copy
here.
of the recording?
Yeah, no, we need to help here.
Yeah, her son is flying in here between Christmas and New Year's.
Who is?
Her son from Vegas.
Now, is this her son's son's son?
No. He has no children.
All right. Whose is this? This kid belongs to who?
The dead grandmother that was her daughter.
Her daughter was the grandma to this kid.
Yeah.
Okay. And her daughter's dead?
Yes. And then he lives now with his mother.
Okay.
So he has a mother, he has a father. But these things happen because our children...
Now, did she say to him, now listen, great-grandson, I want to take this, I want to sell it, I want to get rid of it.
It's brand new, Tom.
I know,
Doesn't even have 1,000 miles on it.
Did she tell him, okay, what did his parents say? Did they say, thank you, great-grandma?
They said, this is wonderful, now he'll get off probation.
Wait, he's on probation?
Yeah.
For what?
Trying to run people over, drugs, drunk, you name it.
What a great kid this is. Listen, great-grandma, do you think he would try to hurt her or yell at her? He would?
Yes. I've been around, I know.
How old is this great-grandson?
16.
And what's his first name?
I can't say.
You can't say his first name.
Well, so the vehicle's
it's not in his name.
No, I want to protect great-grandma. No, we got to figure this out. If it's not in his name, plus we have a recording, there's a bunch of stuff we can do. You hold on. Wow. We're going to continue this one after the break. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Get your calls in, 303-713-TALK or 303-MARTINO.
That's a Scooby-Doo mystery, man. Something's wrong.
Well, that Madison didn't happen 3 months ago. It happened
I'm just telling you what
last
Clint just told me while he's talking to her.
Okay, because I talked to her this morning, unless she's got a different
Said
story.
the vehicle was impounded months ago, is what he said.
Did they give it back?
I told Clint that she's got evidence of something. That's all I said.
Well, he probably committed a crime.
Clint was acting like this is way different than we're hearing. That's what.
Remember, there's no cost to you.
Well, everything is. And this is third hand.
Well, this thing with the grandmother, I've got reservations about this every which way.
Well, we're hearing from the grandma who heard from...
It's crazy.
Well, we're
I
hearing
can't
from
even
this
keep
woman who
track
heard
of the
from the
family
grandma.
tree. Ask her, one, I guarantee she's a smoker.
Oh, and? No,
And she's got a neck tattoo.
It's her friend. It's her friend.
How come the grandmother's not calling us?
Because she's intimidated.
Well, we can call her off there.
No,
Clint, tell us what's going on, man.
I talked to her this morning, and
Yeah, I can't wait.
She said she just had...
No, let's get it cold.
Okay.
Let's get it cold from her.
Okay.
No, Clint, really, first, what is going on?
$1,300 estimate. It's $1,300 estimate. Boyfriend put wheel bearings in the van and didn't put the cotter pins back on.
Okay.
So one tightened down on one side until it locked
So
up.
it breaks down on the side of
And
the
the wheel fell off the other side and jammed up under the fender well.
Okay.
She says, I don't know how they drove it in here if the wheel jammed in the fender
But why do they think they can do repairs without getting all...
They don't. They said it's a $1,300 estimate. They only own for the 2 hours of tear down.
Pardon me real quick,
Oh,
guys.
that's not what she said.
Jimmy John, guys, would you guys put your trash in that box so I can take it downstairs so it's not stinking?
What does that got to do with the...
After for the next show.
Well, the most they're going to have to charge her is $100.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but
that's
you also said the vehicle's gone.
It's gone.
Where is it?
They put it out because they don't have any place to keep it. I've been telling them to come get it. It's on the street, on jack stands, and it got towed away.
Okay, this
Well, there you
is
go.
total different than what she is, because she said they were asking for it, they put it out
back
that
together.
day, they called her up, she says, I'll be right down there and get it, brought a tow truck, and it was gone. That's what she told me.
I don't think anything she told you.
Well, and she said that they wanted $1,100.
You guys got to understand, he's very naive. He grew up on a farm down by the creek. He used words like Jiminy Cricket,
golly,
and golly.
They gave her an estimate of $1,300. Right. And she said, I don't want to have it fixed. She says, well, then you just owe for the 2 hours of tear down.
And
we have to get how much? Huh? About $100.
Well, they can charge the $100.
And she said they drove it in.
Unless if they told her there's a teardown.
And how they drove it in with the wheel, literally.
She told me, literally, they drove it in.
The wheel bearing came
I got the
off.
email.
The tire was jammed up in the fender
Well, we
well.
know what she told you. We don't doubt you.
No, I'll show her the email.
They don't know how it got there. They weren't there. They said it could have been driven in, but they don't know.
It doesn't matter. They still have 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if she wants to come get it and doesn't, they can have it towed. They have no responsibility to keep that vehicle forever.
But Dan, didn't she say she came right away?
Came the day, she said she kept on bugging them for 2 days that we'll come and get it. They says, no, we're not going to release it.
I know you haven't been
That's what they said.
feeling well.
And then when they said, okay, come and get it.
Volvo and the Latina shop, he was wondering about an update.
Oh, yeah, I'll call her.
Would they come on air?
Yeah, oh yeah, I think they will.
Do you want to give it to Suzanne to get them on air right now?
34.
I mean, that's always when you call these guys, try to get them on air.
Do you think this
So you have a
woman
follow-up
pilot's
for him?
Yes, I do.
fiance
Cars, they're
has
not
something to do with her?
His car
I don't know
so
anything
bad
about it.
they're
Is it here?
They're not going to do
She's missing. Oh, it's all over the country though. She's missing. Not her. Her daughter is missing. Yeah, that girl.
And she's a pilot.
But that's the Barrett
she's
girl.
on
I was
Woodland.
telling you to ask
She's on
Jeff
Woodland.
Barrett that he's related to her.
Now here's what happened. Her boss got a text message saying I'm taking the week off. It was a text message.
Right.
So no one looked for her for a week.
Bill at the
Well,
No, the mom did.
no one reported her missing, including the boyfriend, and he didn't know about this text message.
The boyfriend then. Oh, you're saying he claims he didn't know about the text message.
Would you also?
It would have been better.
Boyfriend.
It would have been better if he
Well, I'm
didn't
going
know.
to put Rick on hold, and you're going to give him an update on the air, too?
Yes, sir.
With the Latina stuff.
Yes, 80%, 80%.
Well, they pinged the phone, it was in Idaho.
Whose phone? Her phone?
Her phone.
We did that in the first hour.
Oh, when she texted?
Wait,
No,
The
they said the cops were able to.
No, I
the
didn't
phone.
finish it. I never finished.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah, I never gave. You know how I do it? I come back.
So
I
loaded Granite 624 in Excel.
Don't have to worry about
Yes.
resetting your loans.
I like him. He's on top of it.
Look at here. This is her email.
He does care.
Really,
That's
any term you need. It truly is a
Oh
custom
man, I
loan.
didn't do fix it.
Choose
Holy
term
crap.
based on your budget, and they'll
I just
find the
said-
most competitive interest rate.
And then
It's
I-
your
Hey, is Fix It's deal we advertise, listen, $39 licensed electrician right now to your house to diagnose it, then they give you an estimate.
Salary-based mortgage.
No, the 39 is your estimate, is everything.
Is everything. That was what I just said.
If you get it fixed,
Well, I just got one saying they didn't do that, but I told them to send work. I understand.
39
They
applied.
told me
Yeah.
that Van had to have all the work done, or he could not be.
Ours is 79.
They had to literally pay a tow truck to take it off the lift and put it outside.
Doing that.
Because they didn't have any wheels in them. They couldn't get the wheels back on, the spindles were broke.
We need to have them on air. They need to explain this on air.
Yeah. Well, I just give it to Sam.
Should you call them and say, hey, we'd like to come on air because she's saying something different? You should call them.
$79 from now.
Call them from in there on that other phone. See if you come on hold.
On like line 6.
They'll tell you exactly how to do it. If you want us to fix it, we apply the 79.
I love it when you've got two people with totally different stories, and you know both of them are exaggerating or bullshitting and
Because
the truth is next to impossible.
I was going to have her on tomorrow on car day, and then because we were slow and stuff, we didn't give her a call. But like I say, I thought it was a great story. It is a great story. I mean, and I don't know which garage. Hey, maybe Mikey knows about the story.
What's it called?
Hometown Garage.
Let's see if I see it. I know that sounds pretty well.
Woodland Park.
What's in your wallet?
I know where this is. It's right in the
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. We do help, information, and referrals. That's what we do here, and at referralist.com, where our show is live. Our show is also live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Hello, everyone, and you can download us. We're also live on the iHeartRadio app, but you can download us all over the place. For those listening in podcasts, please remember, you can respond to us on Facebook, on YouTube. You can also call 303-MARTINO right now, even if you're listening and the show is over and it's not live. 303-MARTINO, we monitor that line, and we do get back to you. And, for example, Madison is one of those people that we called back about her car. She said was towed away. And she said, not towed away, excuse me, she took it and dropped it off at an auto shop. They say it would have had to have been towed in. Its condition, the wheel wasn't even operating, but she said she dropped it off. That's neither here nor there, because by Colorado law, she's supposed to be afforded an estimate, or they're limited to $100. She dropped it off, and she claims they wouldn't let her take it out. So, as I said,
Clint's on with them now. Hopefully they're on the air in a second.
Frank Duran, the real estate man, 303-920-1622. 920-1622. And Frank, whether you're buying real estate, he'll go out and help you find something, or you're listing your home, they clean it, they stage it, they do a lot of outbound marketing. Whether you're buying or selling, he will never hold you to a long-term contract unless you want to. So that's what I love about him. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. So are you ready now? Did you talk to them again?
Bill had to leave, so I can't get him back.
See, I'm going to call. My opinion, that's BS. So the guy talked to you forever off the air. Then after they tell you, oh, this woman's all full of crap and everything else, which we'll update in a second, we call them back to get their side on the air, and Bill's got to leave.
Well, Bill had already
left. I'm not saying it's
obligated
impossible
to come on, Mark. They shouldn't be obligated.
They're not obligated to come on, but they tell such a different story. Okay. Why wouldn't they want to come on?
Madison about it.
I want to take it one step at a time. Madison claims she drove in and dropped it off. They're claiming the wheel didn't even operate. You couldn't even turn the wheel. Did you drive that vehicle in?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you drove it in. Was it grinding?
It was.
Okay. I mean, it had to have been grinding. The wheel was, what was it, Clint? Bent into the frame?
Somebody had just put wheel bearings on the car and left the cotter pins off both sides. So basically, they'd come off the spindle on both sides.
Who did the wheel bearings, Madison?
We only did the wheel bearings on the right side. The left side had not been touched at all yet.
Well, they say that there was no cotter pin in either side.
This is my whole point. The stories are so different. It's incredible.
You dropped it off, and they claim, they called you and said, hello, Madison, we need to fix this. It's going to be this much money. And you said no, and they said, okay, we'll put it back together, and you just pay for assembly and putting it back together, and we'll have it here for you.
Well, Tom, they couldn't put it back together on that left side where it come off the end of the spindle.
So what did they say she had to do?
It was on the lift for 4 days. They ended up having to take it down, put it on dollies, and get it rolled outside on jack stands.
Why was it there 4 days?
They said they couldn't get hold of the customer, so
Madison.
It was tying up their lift for 4 days.
Okay, so if they couldn't put it back together, how can she pay for teardown and reassembly? That's another thing not making
They're not asking for teardown and reassembly. They're just asking for the teardown.
Okay. So, how much did they say that was going to be? They didn't, did they?
No, I didn't get a number out
But
of
by
them.
law, they're limited to $100.
I think they were fine with that.
How much did they say you must pay, Madison?
$190.
They did say that.
Yes, I have a emailed work order
Well, hold
from
on.
them.
But there's a whole new part to this.
Just wait. Madison, when she first called, said they wouldn't do anything unless she had the work done. That's what you told us, Madison. Now you're telling me there's this $190 option. What was that option, that $190?
That was just to look at it, I think she's saying.
Mark?
Yeah. So
that
I
was
spent,
after they looked at it.
3 days trying to get the van.
Madison,
out of their
just tell me about the 100.
They finally told me I could pay that.
Okay, so after 3 days, they said, you know what? You pay us $190 and you can take the van. Is that right?
Correct.
Did they say what state the van would be in if you paid that?
They did not, and
Okay.
nobody made me aware that they were going to be tearing it apart before they tore it apart.
No, I understand that. Okay, so you have this thing, $190, and you agreed to it on the phone, right?
No.
Oh, what did you say?
I didn't agree to any
When they
costs
said,
at all.
I don't think it's unreasonable that they wanted $190. We could quabble over the extra $90, but I don't think it's unreasonable. So when they said, okay, Madison, just come and get it, $190, what was your response?
That I was willing to pay for an hour of their technician's time because the job that
And
they
what
were
did they
charging
say?
me for.
And what did they say?
Oh, nothing. They told me to have the van towed off of the premises within hours or it would be gone when I got there.
Okay, and what did you do then?
I showed up with a tow truck and the van was
How
gone.
far wait, from that phone call? How much time lapsed before you showed up with a tow truck?
Let's see here. So they sent me an email on the afternoon of the 29th, I believe, and said that it had to be picked up at the end of business that day or it would be gone.
And when did you get there?
No, I got there the next day, but so...
Okay, so I think Madison's telling the truth, and I think they're telling the truth. I just think we're not interpreting it the way... I'm hearing a jibing story now. Here's what happened. She dropped it off. It was in bad shape. They took it apart. They realized it would not go back together because of the damage. They told her, listen, Madison, it's going to cost $1,150. She says, I never authorized you. They said... Then they argued. They didn't know what to do. Then they finally said, okay, just pay us $190. And she was pissed at that, but they said, you come and get it or we're going to have it towed. And when they said come and get it, they insinuated she's going to need to get it towed because they needed to get it towed. I know.
So they send her an email, and what if she didn't read it till the next day? Granted, she said she did, but you give her, what, 12 hours to come get it? That's insane.
Well,
then you have it towed out of there?
No, I'm not sticking up for them. I'm just saying I believe everyone's telling their version of the truth, which closely jives with each other.
Got it.
And I think that right now, where is the now? Here's the best part. Okay, if the thing needed $1,150 worth of work and you're not willing to have it done, what were your plans for the van?
We were going to take it to the house.
And do what?
I work at a shop. We were going to fix it.
Oh, okay. Then
I
what?
get better
Okay.
parts prices and things like that. I was going to handle this on my own.
Okay, so now the only added loss, so to speak, is that you have to pay for the impound. How much is it?
Oh, it's I had to surrender the title to get my stuff out of it because they wouldn't tell me who picked it up. So it sat in an impound lot for 10 days. We just found it on Monday, and they told us, well, you're within 2 days.
It's nice. It's nice that they let you have your. It's
it.
nice they let you have your personal stuff. It's the impound's not at fault here. How much did they want?
Over $700.
Okay. What do you feel that van is worth at its best? I mean, in that condition, what was it worth with that bad front end? What do you think it's worth?
With the condition that we took it in it was probably worth about $1,500.
Oh, you're dreaming.
What is it? What was it?
A 1999 E350 van with 230,000 miles and a bad front left wheel.
It's worth whatever the metal is.
Yeah.
It's $500.
You're dreaming, but whatever you think it's worth would be your loss if they were responsible for it. I don't think, Madison, honest to God, I don't think it's worth pursuing. You can go to small claims court and try to get $500 from them. I don't think it's worth pursuing. Listen, they may not have acted perfectly. Maybe you didn't either. You didn't really. You dropped it off. You didn't, okay? You should have been down there. You should have been down there to sign something or demand an estimate. You did everything by phone. You dropped it off. I just don't like the way anybody acted in this. I'm not going to single out the car shop, but I think that you won't win in small claims court. I don't think you will. I think that the fact that they sent you an email that said, come and get it by the end of the day is reasonable. Mark doesn't. I think it's reasonable.
I'm not saying, I don't know legalities. I'm not a lawyer. I can care less.
Reasonable.
I'm saying I don't like that in general. If Alaramis or if Jeff Vick or one of our guys did that to somebody, I wouldn't like it, and I'd call them out on it.
Well,
You got till the end of the day or I'm having your vehicle towed. That's a little strong-armed.
No, that was after 3 days.
Well, that's true.
That was after 3 days of communication.
And we don't know how she is discussing matters with him.
After 3 days of communication, I would be frustrated too. I think she should have been thinking all the time, how can I get it out of there? And I don't think an email saying get it out by the end of the day, in my opinion, I don't think that's unreasonable, because emails, everyone gets notified when they get emails. Come on. I mean, it's not like, what if she didn't look at it until the next day? I don't think that's a big deal. I do believe that she's going to lose, because they're going to say, look, we did everything we did. We didn't charge her a dime. She didn't get it out. It got impounded. Now, why the hell should we have to pay for that old piece of crap? Okay, we have another problem pending that's really unbelievable. Did anyone make a call on this yet? We need to get a hold of that recording. So, Suzanne, did you talk to Ann? Here's what Ann said. Ann said, now this is all according to a great-grandmother. So let's talk as if we're the great-grandmother, so we don't have to say, she said that she said that he said. Okay? Let's be great-grandma. I'm the great-grandma. See if I have this right. My great-grandson took me to a car dealership and forced me to buy him a truck. I spent $65,000. I got it in my name. It's not in his name. It's in my name. But now what do I do? I mean, is that it, basically? Is that what it boils down to, Ann?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, now, you say, well, I'm going to be the great-grandma again.
Wait, you missed a big part.
No, this is it. I'm the great-grandma again. I couldn't qualify for that, so the guy at the dealership was encouraging me to lie about my income.
That's right.
And I have it on tape. I have it on recording on my phone.
That's right.
Okay, so I need to get a hold of that recording. How can we do that?
Okay. Their son's going to be here between Christmas and New Year's. Do you have a hot number he can call you on?
Why the son? Why do we have to wait for the son? Is he going to help her? Is that
he's going to help her. He's coming in from Las Vegas.
I don't want to wait this long.
I don't even understand why we're waiting.
Ann, how far away are you from this great-grandma? Can't she just forward that recording? She doesn't know how?
Well, we've already called them, and they told us to blow it out our butt.
Okay, now.
The car company.
I know, but Ann, they're not going to tell us to blow it out our butt, okay?
Okay, well, let me go over to her house tomorrow.
And forward that message.
And let me get the exact name of the car dealership.
All right.
Let me get the payment book.
Right. And
let me get everything, so we're right on top with everything, including the recording.
If you have that recording,
she's going to get
it easy.
And the paperwork. Thank you, Ann. We look forward to it.
What do you think? Are we going to get a recording?
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, unless it didn't go on. I mean, Ann sounds...
I'm not saying the woman's lying. I'm saying, do you think we'll actually get a recording? That's all I'm asking.
I have a hunch we will.
Okay.
Now, whether you hear it or not, inside a purse... I mean...
No, I mean just getting a recording.
You know, I hope it's usable. So, artofgranite.net. Did I talk about Mitch Floria? I should. He's a great guy. Artofgranite.net.
He did a lot of our stuff.
And the thing about it is that when you have him do it, you don't get charged more than wholesale for your materials. Okay, that's what I love. And he lets you buy it anywhere you want. He'll put it on his wholesale account. So you know you're paying wholesale for the stones. He's a direct stone importer, too. You only pay for tear out and haul away. So that's the way to do business, right? He also does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. So here's the bottom line. You can get a price on the phone from Art of Granite. All you have to do is call. And he'll give you a price. Then you compare it. And then you can go to the showroom, pick out specific stone and all of that. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. For countertops, backsplashes, cabinets, 303-386-5919.
This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
On the west side of town, it looks like crews have that ramp westbound.
The dealership.
Okay, guys, in a few minutes I'll go back on.
I just have to do another use an alternate route for now. Downtown, a crash northbound I-21, 6th Avenue has the right.
I don't think we'll get a recording.
Please hold on to your steering wheel. I'm going to call Shots and then it's going to back you up there.
I thought about 3:30 seconds. No, I don't think so, bro. Okay, what is it? What did you find? In the shittiest condition.
I put fair condition.
Well, okay, it doesn't even fucking move.
What
is that? It doesn't have tires? That's not fair condition.
So there's something wrong here because they said it was just the right tire. And that's what she had told them to do, is just the right tire.
I thought it was front left.
No, right. It was right.
Okay, guys.
I'll go with a race to sell and only at your local Ford store.
You know, earlier in the show I said Fix It 24/7's doing that $39 deal. They'll find any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric drains. Well, they can do that, but here's the real deal. They have opened up 10 furnace checks and cleaned, and when I tell you what they do, they remove the blower motor, they remove the filters, they clean all the compartments, they clean the burners, they adjust the burners, they adjust everything they can adjust. They clean out and almost refurbish this thing. They have solvents they use, they take it out of the basement. They really, not the furnace, but the components they can take apart. They clean and service and adjust everything for $39. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's just $39, but only for the next 10 people who call. And if they find a problem, and you know, let's face it, why are they doing this? Because they hope they find problems. They don't look for, they're not dishonest. They'll tell you the true condition of your furnace because they're going to give you a no breakdown guarantee. So if they find a problem, you'll know exactly what it is, and you're not forced to get anything fixed. You're limited to $39 to get a complete clean and check and service of your furnace. And the number is 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
If you've ever bought office furniture, you know how expensive and frustrating it can be, but no longer.
Mark, do I have for him?
You did the water heater one.
I did that one.
Didn't we do the water heater?
Okay, I got to do whatever else you jammed up in the federal.
Yeah, anytime you want to freshen them up, just tell Neil. And, or you can email me directly, and we'll get it done.
Spring deal is the any air conditioner with any furnace for $9.99. Any air conditioner, if you buy a furnace from us, furnace or coil from us, the magic air conditioner to that furnace or coil.
Here's the problem.
For $9.99.
But he does real pricing on it. It's a real.
They only did the right.
There's companies that do, buy one, get the other one free. But the one might cost you $15,000.
What is the normal furnace go for 80% condition installed? Just the one they didn't touch.
But
it was you guys.
They took them both off.
They did because they found two.
I don't ever install an 80 straight 80. It's an 80 minimum.
They were correct.
Average installation.
Newer house.
All I'm saying is the stores are so diet.
What are you shitting? I know. Oh, this guy, man, we got to advertise the shit out of that stuff.
Yeah, we put in the 2-stage for that.
I get 303-718-713-855. I'm talking to
Mike Robinson off the air, Smith Plumbing and Heating. So it's Smith Plumbing, Heating, Cooling.com in Colorado Springs. If you're still listening from Colorado Springs, I know we go off there, but some people listen to K-House still. And I'm going to mention this again tomorrow. He probably has the best overall pricing I have ever heard of when it comes to all your major stuff. Mark, I don't know of any.
Well, and service and repair, man. We've struggled to find a good guy down there.
I mean, this is like overall the best pricing. You shouldn't predicate everything on pricing. It's value too, right? But sometimes people say value to trick you into paying more money. Sometimes, not all the time. But this guy, he's just making less money. I don't care how. I don't know how you put it. You decided to make less profit, man. Mike, I'm not BSing, right? I mean, that's what you're doing. So is this like a midlife thing, a second career thing, or what? I mean, have you been doing this a long time?
Yeah, I've been in the business over 40 years.
Okay, but it seems like, and I mean this now, and I mean it in a complimentary way. You don't seem like to put a high priority on like making profit. I'm serious, because you know that you could probably ask twice as much for some of this stuff, twice, and people would say it's normal.
Right. So here's what I've done.
For those listening, I'm talking about some stuff we talked about off the air, and you'd have to call for yourself and shop around. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, Tom, what I tell people, and I've been doing this a long time, is I don't make customers pay for my business inefficiencies. So I run a very efficient business. I keep my overhead low, and I offer a very, very fair price with labor, materials, and overhead associated with servicing.
In today's market, it's way better than
under
what you call
$1,000
normal.
for a water heater.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about that. I don't want to talk about what we're talking. We were talking about furnaces, and I will tell you this, just from what I heard, half. You're not going to find it. Yeah, he's about half of what I've seen in the marketplace. About half. And in the spring, he does that thing and adds an air conditioner for $999. So, man, this will be fun to advertise for the springs. So, anyway, 303-713-TALK. Let's keep going here and see what we can do for you. And I just want to answer this email. Again, somebody asked, I don't know why I don't do this. I got to do it. They ask for it all the time. What are they asking for? Tom, when you did Simply Floors, you just gave Simply Floors Inc. I can't believe this. I don't have access to the internet. Can I call them? Here's Simply Floors Inc. 303-456-4660. 4660. And then someone else asked, yesterday you were talking about the reverse loan for that older woman. You said it was perfect for her. Why? Because she was in her 80s, had a house paid for, and didn't have anyone to leave equity to. Why would you not live off of that equity? When she dies, it goes to an estate. And then maybe to the state even, or she gives it to somebody, but she can live off it. Why would you bother not getting a reverse loan and suck every dime out of your house? So in some cases, yeah, that's what I mean. It's a great option. Approval Reverse is the one I referred her to. Approval, and this is the person asking in this email. It's approvalreverse.com. Joan Sullivan's 303-771-3528. Let's go to the phones, and Rick has a follow-up. Now, Rick, this was something that Clint was working on with Latinos.
Yes.
What was the problem, Clint?
He had an older Volvo that was overheating.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, I talked to the shop.
But what was your complaint, Rick?
Well, it's not running right now. I mean, he had it running, and now it's not running at all, and all he did was just push it out in the yard. I'm driving by every day, and it just pushed out there into the yard, and nobody's working on it.
Did you give approval for them to fix it?
Yes, I did.
And you gave him money. You even gave him money, right?
No money yet.
Thank goodness. But you were quoted something. Was it $1,150 or something? I don't know. That's sticking in my head.
We started off at 17, and then I bought another part for him from Swedish Motors. He got mad at me because I told them what was going on. He said the guy didn't know what he's doing. So then he said, I've been a mechanic for over 20 years, and I don't appreciate you talking to anybody about my work. And I was like, okay. So then he, once we got that flywheel for the sprocket timing, and then there was another part that was broken from the...
Yeah, this is way too much information. The guy is just not doing the work. But the question I had was, how much money had you paid him? Nothing, you said.
Nothing.
Well,
nothing
that's good.
No.
That's good. I don't know why I thought there was money on the table. So he could literally just go get it. Just go get it. Why would you even want them to do the work? I wouldn't want them to touch it at this point.
They don't want to do any more work on this because they said they're getting way more work than what the car's worth.
Are they going to charge him?
Machine work only, just for the machine shop.
What did they do for him?
They had to have the head. The head was warped. That's why the head gasket. They had to have the head milled.
And how much are they charging? Do you know?
Just a machine shop bill, and I don't know what that is. They're not.
Rick, just go get get it out of there.
I have no idea how much he's charging for that.
Well,
he's talking like $2,500, and that would be the whole job.
We don't know what he's charging.
I have no idea.
Can you call? I mean, if we've called over there, and basically they said, look, he pays the machine shop bill and we're done. Rick, call over there and see what it is. And
he's looking out for Rick because he said you're going to end up with 4 or 5 times what this car's worth if they just keep going.
Okay. Did you get the impression that they were all right? The people, yes? All right. Listen, we can't tell you for sure, but he doesn't have a bad feeling about him, man. So call over there and then call us back if you have a problem. Negotiate a price for that machine work. God, this happens a lot where people get into a thing and they want to get out, and then trying to part ways, whether it's with a contractor or a mechanic, trying to part ways before a job is done. What do you end up paying? What is the value? That's a very difficult proposition, is figuring out value. Juan? What's happening, Juan?
Hi, Tom. This is Juan. I just have a question about a small claim court. I have a friend. She went to the city park in July 4th, and she rode her bicycle, and they put the portable toilet in the middle of the trail, and someone inside opened the door, and she hit the door. And
was the porta potty put, you said, in the middle of the what?
Up the trail, the bicycle trail.
And as I understand, as she is approaching, she opens the door and gets hit.
Someone opened the door. She hit the door and she fell. She broke her arm, and it cost her about $10,000 for the medical. So
who put the porta potty there?
I think the city, because that's the July 4th celebration.
All right, listen. She doesn't have a prayer if it's the city. The city is immune from that kind of stuff, so she wouldn't have anyone to go after. She could try going after the porta potty company if they're the ones that placed it.
Yeah, that's the waste management company.
Well, whoever put it there, okay, it might be the city paying for it, but she's got to be careful because you're not going to sue the city. So what she needs to do is find out who put it there, and then she, take him to court or something. But if you're talking about 10 grand, you're going to need an attorney for this.
Yeah, but I think the small claim only up to 7.5, right?
For small claims court, but why doesn't she get a personal injury attorney is what I'm asking. Because here's the deal. If they won't take it, Juan, listen. If a personal injury attorney won't take a case, it means you don't have a case, okay? Or it's too small. Have you called personal injury attorneys?
Yeah, we did.
And what did they say?
They just don't take the case. They said it's not, probably it's too small for them, I guess.
Well, no, don't guess. Don't guess. Ask, because here's why. If they listen to this and feel they don't want to take it, if it's too small, that's different. But I think they're not taking it because she doesn't have a good case. But that's something that I'm not going to tell her if she has a good case or not. But I'll tell you this. If it was me, I would not even bother pursuing it at all, because I don't think you can call that negligence just placing a porta potty there. I mean, I don't see how you call it negligent. If she has... does she have any kind of medical payments insurance for her car?
Yeah, she got the insurance from her work, paid for her for $7,000, but she still have to pay $3,000 for the balance.
Then that's small claims court. If she wants to go for just what she has out of pocket. But listen, Juan, negligence is a very, very tough thing to prove. And just because it's there doesn't mean they were negligent. Where else would you put it? I mean, and here's the deal. Anyone would argue that your friend was negligent because I know enough when I'm going down and that a door could open. I mean, it's just one of those things that could happen. I don't think you're going to find a lot of people willing to take this, but if she wants to sue for out-of-pocket, this is what you need to do, Juan. Tell her to go to small claims court, and she shouldn't. And if it was me, I would sue whoever placed the potty there, unless it was a city person, because I wouldn't bother. You're not going to get anything. But I would sue if the porta potty company dropped it there. That's who I would sue. You're still going to lose, but that's who I would sue. You never know. They might settle. Who knows?
What a crappy situation.
Oh, my goodness. I thought you would refrain from all of those puns. A crappy situation. Well, think about that, though. Would you be upset if you're driving down and somebody opened the porta potty door? Seriously, if it's on the trail? I would give it a wide girth. I would when I'm driving. I mean riding. Okay. We're going to have completely open lines for you when we come back, and I want you to start calling 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, and get right through because we have open lines. I always let you know when we have open lines. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is your one clear choice for garage doors. They have this thing called the Martino inspection. Now, it's not if you're just moving in a house and you're just curious. It's for people who suspect they might have a problem. They want to make sure it's safe. They want to make sure their garage door is up to snuff. They're going to do it for you at One Clear Choice Garage Doors at no charge if you mention the Martino special. And they can come out in an emergency if you need them to. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. What I love about them is how efficient, how they're just ethical, efficient, and they are top-notch when it comes to equipment. They can install a brand-new garage door opener for just $333 with Wi-Fi technology, a closed feature, battery backups, 303-565-6409.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Free water heater.
I know.
And
this Volvo had 269,000 miles on it. It was wrecked in the front.
clean your carpet doctor a different day.
Why do people bother trying to get cars fixed?
This guy says it's a $400 car at most, and the guy keeps up with it. And he says, I'm not going to put any more money in this guy's car. It's not for his best interest. I was shocked at being
He doesn't want to own the car.
He doesn't want
How
to
much does this guy owe him now?
Mark Excel service.
He said just the machine shop bill, so I didn't get the...
What?
Excel service.
You want me to just bring it up in content? They're at our house today.
I didn't get the...
I'm going to pitch to it.
They were going to waive all the labor, just whatever machine shop charge to fill that head.
So how much is that?
I don't know.
See, here's the other side of that. If they tell them, hey, you owe us $2,500 and we're not going to do anything else to your car, I don't fucking agree with that either.
Well, what's wrong with it?
How about if Mike went out to look at your water heater, spends $1,000 and tells you, yeah, well, it's not worth fixing, give me my $1,000.
It went in,
Stupid.
it blown a head gasket.
Yeah.
So he had the head gasket done. They get the car started, and they have a check engine light. And I said, do you know? He said, yes, it's always had it. So they checked to see what it is, because he has to get an emissions test.
Yeah.
And they checked to see what it is, and it's not the sensor, it's the computer's actually bad in the car.
Okay.
So now they're going to have to put a computer in it. And
no, my problem now is they won't even work on it, you're saying. They just want to collect for what they've done. I don't agree with that at all. Do you agree with that?
If they did have something of value.
So you bring your car in to be repaired, they do the head gasket. When the head gasket's done, they start it up and say, oh, it's got more problems, but we don't want to fix the other problems. Pay us what you owe us for the head gasket.
The other problems had nothing to do with the head gasket.
I mean, if it has independent problems and this guy authorized a head gasket, yeah, I mean...
The check engine
Now,
light
if you said, well, sometimes, here's the deal. They depend on the mechanic to let them know, should I have it done? Not, can you do it, but should I have it
Well,
done?
they had no idea the check engine light.
Did they tell them that's what would fix it? Did they say, hey, this will fix your car, the head gasket?
So
No, they did. The car came in, it wasn't running, so they had no
we
idea
have
that
all
the
our
check
stuff
engine light
at low
was.
price because I go.
Until they fixed it.
Once
Then
you
they
get
fixed
to
it,
a couple
and the
of
check engine light
repairs,
needs a computer.
like listen,
The computer's a couple grand.
why don't we, for a little bit more and with a 10-year guarantee and everything goes with it, why not upgrade? It's not that much more.
Yeah, you got
on
a
the base
15-year-old
level.
furnace.
And so they know we just want to fix it.
And
We'll
that
go,
Yeah.
that's not what we do.
Don't forget service, guys.
So we know, like on 20-year-old systems, you go, I need a blower motor, I need a do strap motor, whatever. We go, that's $1,200. Brand new furnace for you is
On the leaker of 11 to get there.
Let's just change it out.
Do you do payment plans for a lot of
Oh
people?
yeah, we have 80% of our stuff is finance. And I
How
would
much
say
is it a month for a new furnace, roughly?
every furnace you put is under $100 a month. We either do it 7-year, 10-year, 12-year, whatever, to get it in
Do
place.
people really finance $3,800 for 10 years?
No. That one would be more of a 7, 5 to 7. But the other thing, Tom, is when we go in, it's not just the furnace. So we're there, we will get more dollars for it because I do a new plenum, a new return supply plenum, and we add a little. So you got another $800 in this.
I understand it's an upsell. There's nothing wrong with that. As
So
long as they can do it without it.
So we can, but this makes the system perform better. I tell them, listen, it's just going to perform better.
What I don't like is where, no, you have to have it.
No. They're all options.
Mark said Volvo's actually drivable.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk about Excel Cleaning Services. we have had some feedback recently because we've sent them some new customers, and you would think we found a diamond for someone that was lost in the New York City sewer. Like you've heard that diamond ring, right? Here's the deal, man. It's so hard to find dependable house cleaning services, and they do more than that. You can have them do deep cleans. You can have them do one-time cleans or regular cleans. Mark and Suzanne use them. I've used them. And Stephanie and I have used them. I still use them. So we use them all over. And here's what I like. If you just say clean my home every so many weeks, if they're your regular customer, you're a regular customer, they rotate deep cleaning, meaning they do a good thorough clean, and then they take 2 rooms and deep clean. Then they do a good thorough clean the next time and take another 2 rooms to deep clean. So by the time they get done with deep cleaning, your entire place has been deep cleaned. Then they start over again on that first area. If you're having a party, if you're having anything, they can do special cleans, and you won't do better at this company.
It's so economical.
And here's what I don't understand. How do you take that many housekeepers and have them all cloned for the same ethics, quality, efficiency, everything? They're so wonderful, but I don't understand how you do that with house cleaning. I really don't. And that's why more and more people don't get into that business. And then how he doesn't charge through the roof, I don't understand. But I don't want to say that too loud because I don't want my rates going up. But you're going to be pleasantly surprised. If you're looking for a regular house cleaning service, you're not talking about, these places that I'm just going to remain nameless, but their initials are like MM. Some of these places, they hire anyone to do your cleaning, and all they do is mark up the price, pay them dirt, and do nothing.
And they might cost more.
Yeah. Anyway, Excel Services. They do the cleans, but they also do light painting and carpet cleaning, all of this. So listen, it's 303-683-3470. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, this is a recommendation as if you're my mom or my sister. 303-683-3470. And God knows I love ExcelServicesNetwork.com. I've always said this. If I want to hide cash at my house, I just have to hide it. I want to keep it away from my wife. I just have to hide it under the vacuum. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ruth! What's going on, Ruth?
Tom, would you explain again what a beneficiary deed is?
Yes.
For me?
Okay. A beneficiary deed is a deed that says, I'm Ruth and I own this house. And when I die, so-and-so owns it automatically. That's what it is.
And there's some big tax benefits to that as well compared to some other ways of doing things.
What Mark is saying is if you deed it to someone before you die, they inherit your basis, which is a bad thing because usually then if they want to sell it, they pay way more taxes. When people leave things in death, current value is assessed. Therefore, there's less of a gain when they go to sell it in most cases. And that doesn't concern you, Ruth, but I want to ask you a few questions. Your home, do you owe money on it?
No.
Okay. For those who owe money on it, the person will not inherit the debt, but the house will. So they will have to pay off that house, but they're not required to. In other words, if somebody leaves you something in death, you can refuse it. That's another misunderstanding. People think, oh, my God, don't leave that to me. I'll be strapped. You don't have to take anything to begin with. The other thing is, if you do take something and it's subject to a lien, it's still subject to a lien. And you have to take care of that lien even though you're not personally responsible. So, Ruth, your house is paid for, and what's the value approximate?
Oh, maybe $300,000.
$300,000.
What'd you pay for it, just out of curiosity?
Oh, you don't want to know. I've lived here 62 years.
What did you pay for it? Come on.
$14,500.
$14,500. You little bandit. Now, Ruth, here's the thing. You have a house that's paid for worth $300,000, and you want a beneficiary's deed. There's only one more thing you need to know, all right?
How to do it?
No, this. Listen. M-A-R-T-I-N-O is my last name. Martino.
Oh, my God.
Ruth, what I would do to do it the right way,
positively. David Salisbury, it's only a few $100 and he'll get it done.
This is a perfect example, though, of that tax basis. Perfect example.
Yeah. If you quit claimed it right now while you're alive. No, but if you did, somebody would inherit it at $14,500 value, and anything they sell it for above that would be taxed. Whereas when you die, it's valued at whatever, let's say $300. So they have hardly any gain, if any. So Ruth, really, you want a beneficiary's deed, and who's going to be the beneficiary?
My 3 children.
Okay, now that's going to be a little different than just leaving it to one, but it can be done. And you really want an attorney for that, okay?
Okay.
In my personal opinion, what I would do, and David will have some ideas, I would do an LLC owned by your 3 kids, and you take care of all the ownership crap in the LLC, and then you leave in the beneficiary deed, leave it to the LLC, and then your kids by default get it. But again, you talk to David about that, okay?
Okay.
All right. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, and we have some giveaways. This is very, very important. First of all, I want to mention that Open Door Ministries on the show yesterday, they do such a wonderful work for the needy, for those in need, and for addiction, and for homelessness, and for all of that, and especially women. They really help a lot of people, and they can always use donations. I talked about volunteering, and I talked about people who might need the services to get off the streets. And really, it's a transition from on the streets to off the streets. And if you ever want to know more about this to donate money, it's a worthy cause. It's ODMDenver.org, and the ODM stands for Open Door Ministries, ODMDenver.org. Now, as far as giveaways, please nominate families for us, okay, who could use a free furnace in northern Colorado. That's Fort Collins, Greeley, Loveland, Windsor, that area.
Or senior citizens, man.
Anyone. Okay, I said family. You're right. Anyone who could use and benefit a free, no-obligation furnace,
up north,
fully installed by Lighten Up Electric and Heating. Also, if you can use a water heater, if someone can use a water heater, please nominate someone. Now, listen, we'll even let you nominate yourself. We said you had to nominate a third party. We don't care. If you know someone, or if you are someone who could benefit from a free furnace, and I especially, as Mark mentioned, senior citizens, elderly people,
single parents,
and parents with little kids, and a water heater. Okay, now especially there's some other stuff now. Nominate yourself or nominate someone for clean carpets from Carpet Doctor. Now, our Carpet Doctor at referralist.com.
He's insane. He's like Crazy Eddie.
Yeah, no, he is insane. His rates are so insane anyway. But he is going to do some free cleanings for those in need. So please nominate someone for that. And that's very important for a family, especially to minimize disease and all of that. It really is. I mean, carpets hold everything.
Or even if you're in an apartment. I mean, you don't have to own the house.
Now, in order to nominate people, you can write to us. The email is help@troubleshooter.com. It's that easy. help@troubleshooter.com.
This report is sponsored by Peloton, the perfect gift for them and you.
Good news on the drive across town. Let's go downtown.
They wouldn't tell them where it was at.
That's cool. They offer free service for family needs.
Oh my God, it's
wonderful. They have the phone number on the side of it. Wonderful. And the shop, they'd be happy to do stuff like that too. We did the hammers.
Well, they might have bought it.
Willie D.
They might not.
They're probably not those. What did you do?
We did. Well, it was going to be a service upgrade. The family, the father he's quadriplegic. He's been in a hospital, hasn't been home in 6 years. So we put some new circuits in. I got a generator donated for the house so that he doesn't have to leave when they lose power. We installed smoke detectors because there was none. And then the basement.
I know.
I think
this is one of them that are so
Romex was underneath the carpet.
That's why I got this.
Yeah, very bad.
Because because I don't believe it's 100%.
Well, I talked to him and he sounded pretty legit. I called up the Amsterdam.
Man, Clint, I got to tell you, Jay Lopez seems pretty freaking.
I've seen some,
even the secretary there knew what was going on. He said, yeah, it's just sad that
yeah, we did the whole thing. And then,
I don't know either. I mean, that's why, but it irritates me he won't come on the air.
Well,
yeah.
you just
addicts.
My daughter
Furnace just isn't heating properly.
When's
the last time you changed
just
the
leaving to go pick up parts.
It has a filter.
When I caught him.
Yeah, right. Well, I never go down there.
He has to have a cell phone that's land here. So, like I said, she didn't even know what I was calling back on herself.
And she's not a total idiot. She works for a
yeah, but they were nappers. Yeah, but they are her boyfriend was the one that provided.
Can't even breathe. Put a new air filter.
We put the wheel back in, we did drive the radio into that tunnel, so the nut would go far enough on the cutter. So then it went well.
There's almost no value.
Farmhouse is my favorite.
Farmhouse.
That breaker keeps trading.
In fact,
they just put a bigger one.
It's whatever it is.
I went out there, they have 100 amp breaker.
Big man, it could be 4 or 5 bucks. Mine is until you get to the junkyard.
I don't know, I keep blowing a circuit out in my barn, so. Yeah.
On a 12 wire.
Yeah.
But she didn't say there was any.
I need more power.
There's like,
yeah, they need more power.
They need to
put on a bigger breaker.
Yeah, I agree. I wish I could.
Yeah, that's not
can't.
being burned down.
Yeah. Were they running more than 15 or 20 miles?
I think at certain times they would, like, they have like a compressor or something whenever they're doing work out there, because generally they just have like a couple lights on. So I think when they,
I tried to make an analogy of like wire and uses water. I tried to make, no, I didn't think so either. What it's like when you do all that stuff.
Yep.
Tom said it sounds like both of them.
Oh, geez.
They said the same. She said the same thing. They did both.
Hi, Tom Martino. Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so we have open lines. You can call right in. The holidays are weird times for phone calls. We get either inundated with everything or nothing. And here's what's really important, okay? The holidays, you know, people go buy stuff, and a lot of them just do price. There's another thing happening because of the internet. And in some areas, it won't hurt you. And in other areas, it'll kill you when it comes to warranty and when it comes to even charging and performance. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? If you want to buy something, there's a trend now on the internet, made possible by the internet, that if you buy it, you may not have a warranty, or you may not be able to charge it, or you may find it doesn't work right for some reason, and you think it's brand new. And it is brand new. What am I talking about?
God, I have no clue.
Items made for foreign market. There are cameras.
Oh, like cell phones.
There are cameras and phones. Not so much phones anymore. They become more and more universal.
Samsung sell. I know exactly what you're talking about now. At some places, you can buy universal country Samsung phones that are made not for the U.S. and they come with 0 warranty.
Or you buy a camcorder, or you buy a single lens reflex when it comes to cameras, or you buy, let's see.
Man, that is a great point. I have run into this, and you're right. And it's usually big companies, Sony, Samsung, all these guys.
And they're legit products, but they're not meant for U.S. market. Now, you have some video. Now, this happens a lot with, and it's not so, we don't use DVDs that much anymore, or discs, but it happened a lot with encoding. Because maybe you may not know this, but DVDs, the older ones, and not so old, they are literally, they have what's called a firmware. Firmware is something that's burned in. You don't change it. Well, you can now, I guess, but it shouldn't be called firmware, but it is. Firmware originally was hardware burned software. I mean, it was in. And it would not encode certain CDs or certain DVDs. It just wouldn't read them. And people were buying these cheapies on the internet only to find out they could not even use them. I was hooked into wasting money from one of my friends, talked me into buying these electronic drums.
I was going to mention how Mark is always right, never wrong, but I thought he was wrong about
Tom,
Alibaba.
Look at this, only $900. We bought 2 of them.
You can't be wrong about Alibaba. It's one of the largest companies in the world.
Did you just say I could not be wrong about?
You can't be wrong about it.
We're wrong. It was way wrong. I bought I bought this Wei Wong drum set, electronic drum set.
I disagree.
God, did you guys ever get them working? I came and set them up.
They're very pretty.
Not true.
Actually, the demo tape, we went nuts on it. The demo tape, we couldn't wait to order the damn
There's no problem with them. I totally disagree with this. We need someone that is a third party to check him out at some point.
Now, I thought, here's what I did. Mark said, unpack them and see what they do, and then bring me my set and help me set them up. And I did. So here's what I did. Listen, I'm at the condo. I didn't bring them home. I brought them to the condo, and I'm taking, because Stephanie will not listen to them. Anyway, I start putting them together. And I noticed that some of the pads you hit, and they're loud, and some of the pads hardly make a noise. So I took all the good pads, put them in one set, and took all the bad ones, and put them aside for Mark. And then I said, I'm going to set up. And then I found the brain had some channels that didn't work, some that did. I took the best brain. So I took the best set and set it up. And it still didn't work right. But I was, and the reason I did that, not really to give Mark the inferior.
Look, it's not Hong Kong Phooey. They're not bad
I just wanted
drums.
to make sure they are bad. They're totally.
I disagree.
They don't work. How about that? That's what bad is.
No,
so
they do work.
There's no dynamics. So in a Roland set or Yamaha, if you hit soft, it hits soft. If you hit hard, you hear a louder noise. It has rim shots, and you can get different sounds. Not with these. And also, the head, or the amp, not the amp, there's not an amp, but it's a head, the control head. Mark, honest to God, man, we got gypped. We really, this
No
is
way,
wrong.
Jose.
Tom.
Yes.
What about the dollar steaks? He was so right about that,
That's
wasn't
another
he?
thing. $1 steak. What it turned out to be, honest to God, these steaks were slices of roast beef.
There's nothing wrong with those steaks.
They called them steaks. So they took something that was $16 a pound and would slice 1-ounce slices and call them steaks.
What's funny about that? If you actually looked at the price per pound, they were more than most steaks.
Yeah. And I actually, though, I love the dollar store. I do. I mean, there are things there, but they're like.
Have you tried their pork chops?
No, I won't buy food there. The only kind of food I'll buy there is stuff that they can't screw with, like Pringles or
movie candy.
Non-perishable.
So, popcorn and stuff for the kids. But I just like roaming around the dollar store. But when it comes to electronics, seriously, when you're ordering, you have to look for country of origin. Now, one of the best ways to do it, many times on an ad, they'll give you a SKU. And you search the SKU, or they'll give you an actual serial number, or they'll give you a product number. And you got to Google that, because only the real savvy people on eBay and the rest will put in a fake number. They won't. They'll usually put in the right numbers. But when you SKU it, when you search it, you'll find out the country of origin. And there are many, many things not meant for the U.S. market, and people have been screwed royally. I mean, they spend thousands of dollars on stuff, and it turns out they can't even use it. So that's really important with electronics. Also, a lot of people, when they're buying imaging stuff like cameras, does anybody buy cameras? We can talk about that.
Doubtful.
Or do they just use their phones?
Well, it's high-end stuff.
Anyway, we can talk about that. In any case, I want to thank our guests for being here. So thank you very much, guys. And we appreciate, as always, of course, our referral list member, Smith Plumbing, Heating, Cooling.com. So here's what you do, folks. Referrallist.com for help, information, and referrals. Referrallist.com. And save all your problems for me.
Do you have scalp psoriasis? Horizon
Okay, so listen, I want to tell you something, Clint. Nate would not fly my plane, and he said there was something wrong with it. He insisted because at idle, when it was hot, it got down as low as 10 PSI for oil pressure, 10. And he's going, that's unheard of. I'm not going to do it.